In the 11th race, number 1, Mr. Legend. The driver will be Nick Clegg. We had a change in driver, and then we went back to Nick Clegg, driving the 1, Mr. Legend. The 2, Just Barley, Mark St. Louis Jr. Mark St. Louis Jr. drives the 2, Just Barley. Number 3, Hard for One Guy, Derek Wadiker. Derek Wadiker drives the 3, Hard for One Guy. The 5, In His Time, the driver Tim Johnson. Tim Johnson drives the 5, In His Time. Those are the changes and corrections that we have in today's racing program. First race on the track and ready to parade in about 18 minutes.
Welcome.
The Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association presents Ohio County Fair Racing. Ohio County Fair Racing is presented by the Ohio Veterinary Medical Center, Big D Tack and Vet Supply, Dublin Valley Farms, Stable.ca, and Midland Acres. Now let's go trackside for all the action.
And welcome, everyone, to the 175th Knox County Fair from beautiful Mount Vernon, Ohio. This was the apple of Johnny Appleseed's eye. I am Tom Pye, the harness guy. I am here with Ashley Daly. And welcome back, Ashley.
Well, thank you.
And Matt Clark, our ever-present cameraman today. We have a great double card today. This afternoon cards, we begin at 1 o'clock. We have 11 races, 66 trotters and pacers are entered. We have 5 trots and 6 pacers. Ashley, it looks like a good card today. You've been studying that program, I think.
It does, bringing up my past, I guess. So we have our Colts this morning. That is what's going to take our stage here shortly. Roger Houston on the mic, so a very familiar, very good voice we'll be listening to today.
Yes, a familiar and famous voice. And he is our Hall of Fame announcer that does affairs for us and all over Ohio. Today opens up with the trot, Ashley.
It sure does.
Yeah.
And it sounds like Roger is going to call so we can start introducing our field for the first race. First Division 3-year-old Colt trotters going for a purse of $4,027. A field of 6, we do score 6 wide here. And so on the rail, we had Adventureful Pete, trained and co-owned by Rosie Weaver. Drew Neal will get the drive. A little bit of some tough luck last start out, had a break, but overall throughout the year has had 6 starts, 1 win, 1 second, and 1 third.
Number 2 is Extraordinary Kemp. This is a 3-year-old gelding by What the Hill out of Passport to Love by Yankee Glide. Darren Harvey is a trainer driver. Wayne Master Jr. of Dundee, Ohio, is the owner. This gelding has 10 starts this year, no wins, no seconds, 2 thirds. But for lifetime, 18 starts, no wins. This is a waiting for maiden. Has trotted in Bucyrus, was 3rd in 2-1 and 4, and does show at Scioto. And the non-winners of 1 parimutuel trotted in 58 and 2. So has speed, has the license to be on the board, or maybe even win. Number 3.
Supreme Sanson will fall next. Herman Hagermeyer trains. Emmanuel Miller will get the drive. 3rd in the last start out at Oak Harbor. This is a horse that does have quite a bit of lifetime money already under him, so over $47,000, and did take a mark actually last year as a 2-year-old in 2 minutes and 3 at Scioto Downs. It is a nothing but class gelding, and Herman Hagemeyer trains and co-owns along with D. Schrock and V.W. Miller.
Another Miller. Amazing. The number 4 is Super James. This is trained by Wes Hirschberger for John's Racing Stables out of Worcester, Ohio, and Wesley Hirschberger of Dundee, Ohio. This is, maybe the neighborhood from Dundee. Chris Hirschberger is in the sulky. This 3-year-old gelding by Volstead out of Super Lily by Neely Dunn has 10 starts this year, 2 wins, 3 seconds, 2 thirds, 20,000 with the mark of 2 minutes and 3/5 at Northfield. Shows a nice card, only has 1 fifth place finish in the Buckeye Stallion Series, but still trotted 158. Number 4, Super James. Number 5
is Bob DeBomber, one of my favorite names, I will say, of our card here. excuse me, Roger was giving us some updates. So Bob DeBomber will be in our 5th post position. Ty Loy is down as driver and trainer. He's been a little bit more consistent in his last few starts here at the Ohio County Fairs. Last start out, he was 2nd, and the 2 before that, he had 2 third-place finishes. And this is another one that has almost $80,000 lifetime. It took a mark as a 2-year-old at Delaware, so of course a little bit faster of a track at 1:58 and 1.
And number 6 is Mr. WWC. Scott Cox trains for Calam Racing, of Chagrin Falls. Long Tom Gelding out of Annie's Blue Jean Baby by full count, driven by Jason Thompson. 10 starts this year, 2 wins and 2 thirds, 18,000. Mark of Scioto at 156 has been racing down the condition races at the Meadows and Scioto. Shows nothing but sub 159 miles on his card, a couple of miles in 56 and 3, 56 and 2. Mr. WWC. And we are going to be bringing you here, with the voice of Roger Houston, the post parade of race number 1. Home Talent Colt Stakes here at Knox County Fair and marvelous Mount Vernon, Ohio. What a day, Ashley Daly.
I know.
What a day.
And I say, so I was supposed to, this is my first race card back since joining OHHA full-time. I was supposed to be at Lebanon last Monday, but we had a horrific storm cell move through. So we'll count this one as number 1. So much prettier of a day here.
Brought sunshine and success to Mount Vernon.
First division for a purse of $4,054. Trophy to be presented in memory of James Spearman. And these are the horses for the first. Number 1 is Little Legend, the driver, Mark St. Louis Jr. Number 2, Nacho Dragon with Chris Hirschberger. Number 3, Supreme Samson, Emmanuel Miller. The 4, Super James, Chris Hirschberger. Number 5, Bob DeBomber, Ty Loy. And number 6, Mr. WWC, Jason Thompson. Number 1, Adventural Pete. The 2, Extraordinary Kemp. The 3, Supreme Samson. The 4, Super James. The 5, Bob DeBomber. The 6, Mr. WWC. 6 of you. 1 score and go to the gate. Win, place, show. Perfecta Quinella, Daily Double Wagering.
So, Ashley Daly, we do have the driver change on number 1, Adventureful Pete, Mark St. Louis. Who's hot?
He's hot.
Yes. He is right now currently the leading driver on the fair circuit. He's just getting wins left and right and left. As I said, he's really on the pace. He's also on the trot.
I guess our first race will tell the tale. Something I did want to mention about this field is we do have a couple of Buckeye Stallion Series starters here. So our 4-horse Super James and our 6-horse Mr. WWC have both started and had some pretty decent finishes in a Buckeye Stallion Series earlier in the year. So that 4-horse Super James, Chris Hirschberger, will get that call. Just 3 starts back, did have a 5th place finish, but in that very first leg of our BSS, June 14th was a 3rd place finisher in the 6-horse Mr. WWC. Also in that first leg had a 3rd place and finish in another division.
And for you wannabe handicappers, you can go to our website of WW Ohio Harness.
It's harnessracingohio.com.
See, I always get that.
That's all right. That's what I'm here for.
They had to send Ashley. She got to babysit the old man.
So, yes, if you would like to follow along and look at lines today and really get the feel of what the heck we are talking about and gabbing about all day long, please head on over to harnessracingohio.com. That is where we'll be able to find programs for the early card, late card, and everything in between.
And when you peruse the program, you go down, you see the BSS three colt, the 3-year-old filly. That's usually these are a little bit better class on because if they can go with the Buckeye Stallion series, they're pretty good. And you will see some of the future stars. We have several of them racing today that they look like they can go on and have a very successful career, make a lot of money.
No, and truly, if somebody is not familiar with how we stake horses and just how we end up at fairs versus at the pari-mutuels in, Ohio Sire Stake or Buckeye Stallion Series, that is something that is done very early on in the year. March 15th is a deadline for nominations. And truly, I'm sure as many horsemen can attest, that can be really early to know where to put a horse, where they belong.
It's tough, very tough.
And it costs money.
Yes.
It does cost money, and as you get higher up in those stakes, it costs more. And so we might have some really, really fantastic horses just staked to fairs, because that early on, it is hard to tell because many trainers want the horse to tell them where to go.
Well, and sometimes they don't want to tell you. I can think of numerous world champions that in the middle of February, they were like on the bottom of the class training down. And that's just like a kid playing baseball. You might have they don't know until he gets out there.
Mm-hmm. No, and these fairs, we will see some horses. There actually is a horse later in this card that has raced Next Generation, that has raced Ohio Sire Stake. But these grassroots racing really teaches a horse something.
It's learn and earn. This is a wonderful program they have in Ohio. Take your youngsters, and who knows, you might have a world champion, a hidden gem.
Right. And so it looks like we are slowly gathering to go behind the gate for our first race of the early card.
And who is that starting gate out there?
I don't know. Will you tell me?
Mike Webkenberg.
Webkenberg.
Man who starts 1,000 races. At least.
At least. That is a good way to put it. But going in, as they are slowly approaching that gate, we do have an all-age trot record here of 158. So we do have clear conditions today. So let's see if we can get it done.
Beautiful day. Mike Webkenberg, he had the other day, he had 5 starting gates out all over Ohio, and he's a man, he starts the races, but he never stops. He keeps on going on and on. They are milling behind the gate. As Matt, you can see, there's a place to be, Matt Clark, that nice, under the shade of the old oak tree. Is that an oak tree or an elm tree? No idea.
And it does look like, I will say, Tom, it does look like Drew Neal is on R1.
He is.
That is. I think you
may
have jumped the gun with Mark St. Louis.
Oh, didn't
Yep. So I do believe, so we might have gone down with a incorrect correction. So Drew Neal does drive the 1, Adventureful Pete 4, trainer Rosie Weaver. And here we go. Now, Mike
That's
Webkenberg.
why they sent you. They sent you.
I am here for this reason and that reason only.
We are behind the gate. The gate moves around. They're ahead of the lane. And here's the first from Mount Vernon, Ohio, Knox County Fair, race number 1.
Starting gate on the upper turn. The gate swings into the stretch, and here they come. They're off and trotting. Super James goes for the lead. Supreme Samson second. Up on the outside, Bob the Bomber gets away third. Mr. WWC trots fourth. Into the turn fifth. Adventureful Pete following the early break. Treading the field, Extraordinary Kemp following an early break as well. Down the backside they go. Super James has the lead by 2.5. Supreme Samson second. Racing third, Bob the Bomber. Trotting fourth, Mr. WWC. Adventureful Pete closing in on the field. Out moving on the outside, Mr. WWC. Opening quarter went 30 3/5. That's Mr. WWC and Jason Thompson. Now second on the outside, sticks ahead in front. Into the stretch first time, coming to the halfway point. Mr. WWC on the outside, Super James on the inside second. Racing third, Supreme Samson into the turn fourth. It's Bob the Bomber. Adventurable Pete has caught the field fifth, and trailing the field, Extraordinary Camp. Halfway home, 1 minute, 3/5. Second panel, 30 seconds flat. Around the turn they go. Here comes Bob the Bomber and Ty Loy. Now fourth, now third, and closing on the outside. It's Mr. WWC with the lead. Racing second is Super James. Bob the Bomber third on the outside. Supreme Samson fourth. Moving to the outside, Adventurable Pete now fifth. Treading the field, Extraordinary Camp. 3/4, 1:32. Midway around the final turn, Mr. WWC with the lead. Supreme Super James is racing second. Bob the Bomber on the outside third. Eventual Pete racing fourth. Into the stretch they come. On top of the field, Mr. WWC. Super James closing on the outside. Coming to the wire, Mr. WWC and Super James. Photo all the way. The mile, 2:02, 3/5.
Tight photo for win.
Yeah, really. What a great race to start us off today. What a great race.
What a way to start.
Us off.
Coming last quarter in 30 3, but that last panel was just neck and neck, nose to nose. Anything goes.
I say, so we're not right on the finish line, but we're close. I am curious to see.
Well, yes, but hold all tickets, ladies and gentlemen. If I hold on to the bench and lean about 3 feet over and twist my head around, I'll be on the finish. But that I'm gonna say Super James.
So I thought it was the 6. I don't know. I guess we'll
WWC.
see. I did. And I would say
He's a freak, super freak. Super James.
No, that the 6 horse definitely had a big move after that, or heading into after that first quarter in 30 3, Mr. WWC. Either way, great race again to start us off. Really put us on a good note for the day.
That's what the calling card for the first race. We have 11 races. You don't want to miss this. This is going to be down the half in a minute 3/5. 3/4, 1:32, and they come home in 30 3, mile in 2:02. Of course, in 3/5 is all unofficial.
And
they'll have a print. They'll have to have a print.
It looks like our 4 horse is coming back, though. We do not have official, but it looks like our 4 horse is headed back for a win photo.
Well, Super James, this is put him over the $50,000 mark. Now, as you say, when the drivers, they have a tough time too, because I mean you're right in the middle of the battle, right in the middle of coming down driving.
So yeah, I want to say the 4 came back, but Roger is saying don't go far with the 6. It is that tight, so we do not have an official.
Jason Thompson, winner circle.
Yep. Hey, I'm right again. Can I say that to you?
Only with a smile. Only with.
So they just called Jason Thompson back to the winner's circle with the 6 horse. So he jumped the gun a little bit, thought he was defeated. I say, Roger hasn't given us the official rundown.
Jason Thompson, winner circle.
If you could see, what has happened to so many times, all the folks are down in the golf cart ready for winning, and it's that tight.
A very bittersweet feeling going back.
Bring back that golf cart. But no, that happens to that tight. And of course, there's no The only cameras they got on is OHHA's broadcast. If they're not watching on, if you're not watching on your cell phone, you won't see the tight photos. As they say, smile when you say that to me.
Listen, we just finished the first race, and I think I'm 3 for 3 on you today already.
Oh, I'm telling you. And I'll tell you, it's been a while, but you have not lost your touch.
It has been a while, but I appreciate that. I will say, while we're waiting for our winners to get back in the circle, these things make me so nervous every time, and I don't know why. I really shouldn't be. I have been there, done that at quite a handful of times, especially on bigger nights than even just county fair racing. But I care a lot. That's what I tell myself. I get nervous because I care so much.
Yes.
All right, and here we go. The 6, Mr. WWC and Jason Thompson come back into the winner's circle. They win in 2:02 and 3, our first race, the first division of 3-year-old colt trotters, trained by Scott Cox. He is a gelding out of Long Tom.
Sprint.
That is his 3rd win this year, 5th win lifetime.
Don't take the 4-horse too far.
They still haven't called it.
Don't take the 4-horse too far.
Well, I guess, guys, sorry for jumping the gun. We still...
Well, Ashley Daly, is this going to be a dead heat?
It might be a dead heat, actually.
It might be a dead heat. I've got to ask the folks around, who do you think?
I know. This is when we need our mic.
We have 1-6. Who'd you think it was? Okay, you're good. You play. I saw you sitting there an hour ago. Don't you?
If you want to bring the 4 back to the winner's circle,
Who'd you
bring your 4-horse.
That's the finish
back to
line right there.
circle.
Who do you think? I think they're lying to me.
I don't know who are. Let me look in the Huffs guide to see.
Now, there was a
who we
race
got
at Lexington,
officials.
Kentucky, hot hitter, and
It is a dead heat for
Well,
win.
wow.
Dead heat 4-6. Dead heat for win 4-6.
4 and 6, and it's a dead heat. They both won.
So one of our dead heat winners, number 6, Mr. WWC. On Bacallum Racing of Chagrin Falls, Ohio, Scott Cox, the winning trainer. Jason Thompson in the sulky. 3-year-old gelding, but Long Tom out of Annie Blues Jean Baby. Home a winner in 2:02 3/5. There's another winner from Midland Acres, the home of Long Tom. Was number 4, Super James, owned by John Racing Stable. Wesley Hirschberger, Wes Hirschberger the trainer, Chris Hirschberger the driver. 3-year-old gelding, but Volstead out of Super Lily. Home winner in 2:02 and 3 in the dead heat for win. This race, in memory of Tom Fowler.
it looks like they are bringing the 4 back, or are my eyes deceiving me?
Oh, yeah. There was a futurity race down in Lexington, and it was hot hitter and General Star. There was 5 of them across the track, and Hervé Filion was driving hot hitter, and he's going by the grandstand. He's going, "Did I win? Did I win?" Nobody knew, and old Keith Waples, they all called him Old Face. He was there. He goes by Hervé Filion. He just looks at him. He gives him a little char tobacco. He says, "You were second, Hoivy." And they put the General Star up to win, beaten. But Keith Waples, one of the greatest drivers ever in the history of Canada. And he had the first 2-minute mile with Mighty Dudley and Blue Bonnets Raceway. Ready for the year? Ashley Daly, the year was 1959. That was the first 2-minute mile ever.
Wow.
in
How crazy
Canada.
is
But
that? How times have changed. Well, Matt, would you like to get our 4-horse that looks like he's coming back, or would you like us to send us to a commercial break? What? Ah, we still do not have an official rundown. Good point.
well, you can say this thing that we're looking for the 4-horse. There's a 4-horse right now. It's coming up, coming back. Come back to the 5 and dime, Jimmy Dean, Jimmy Dean. This 4-horse is Super James. It's by 3-year-old by Volstead. They both got marks of better than this. 2 minutes and a fifth at Northfield is a 2-year-old. 2 minutes and 3/5 this year for Super James. He has, shows win, third, fifth, fourth, third, second. Add a win, dead heat. Now we're going to have to look for the track photographer. Where's Annette Adams? There she is. Get back here. Annette McLaughlin. And here's, well, not as much as the first crowd, but
The crew that came back
crew,
on, the,
yeah.
on the golf cart.
they have to. And when you're racing multiple horses in a fair, it's just one after another.
yeah.
So a lot of times you can't come down the winner's circle. Congratulations both to Callum Racing and Johns Racing and Wesley Hirschberger. That's Mr. WWC and number 4, Super James.
Also in the dead heat for win, number 4, Super James, on the John Racing Stable, West Hills trainer. Chris Hirschberger, the winning driver. 3-year-old Gellenberg Volstead, a Super Lily, also home, a winner in 202 and 3. Dead heat for win between 4 and 6.
We are waiting for the rundown, but we know the 2 winners. The final odds.
Number 1, Eventual Pete, 5. The 2, Extraordinary Kemp, 6. The 3, Supreme Sampson, 3. The 4, Super James, 1 dead heat. The 4, Bob the Bomber, 4. The 6, Mr. WWC, 1 dead heat. Top down, 5, 6, 3, 1 dead heat. 4, 1 dead heat. The quarter, 30 and 3. The half, 1 minute, 3. 3/4, 132. The mile, 202, 3/5. Bring them right on out for the
That was our first race from Mount Vernon, and we shall be back right after these few words.
The Knox County Fairgrounds in Mount Vernon, Ohio has been a popular place since 1895. The grounds were originally home to an amusement resort known as Lake Hiawatha Park. Guests would arrive at the front gates on a state-of-the-art electric trolley. The lake retreat was complete with a billiard and dance hall, theaters, restaurants, and a zoo. By the mid-20th century, the park fell out of fashion. The land would become home to the Knox County Fair. The fair dates back further than its establishment at Lake Hiawatha Park. Local township farmer clubs held gatherings as early as the 1840s. Those clubs would soon form the Knox County Agricultural Society and host the first county-wide fair. For several years, the fair moved from location to location. Grains, fruit, and livestock were exhibited for a single day at the town courthouse, in churches, or even the jailhouse property. The fair would outgrow all of these spaces and demand a permanent place to call home. In 1894, the fair made its move to Lake Hiawatha Park. One of the biggest advantages of the park was its racetrack. Automobile and horse racing were popular during this time. The county fair took advantage, hosting pacers and trotters annually.
History, tradition. For over 100 years, 2- and 3-year-old trotters and pacers have started their careers on the tracks of the Home Talent Colt Stakes. See the future stars of Ohio harness racing at one of the Home Talent's 15 tracks. The stars of tomorrow are racing at a track near you today. The Home Talent Colt Stakes. You can't win them if you aren't in them.
Welcome back to the Knox County Fair here in Mount Vernon, Ohio. You are joining myself, Ashley Daly, and Tom Pye, the harness guy, here for the early card, of course, of the Mount Vernon Fair.
Well, Ashley, you can't get a better race like that, better finish. They're rocking and rolling, coming for home. 4-6. The 4 returns 360, 320. 6 finished the dead heat, 620, 380, 240. Exactor of the 6-4, 4-6, 660 paid for the 4-6. The 6-4 paid 760. The Cornella, a whopping $6.40. Dead heat for win. Quite the way to start out. The second race, Ashley Daly, is the 3-year-old pacing colts and geldings.
Okay, we are switching to pacers now. So we do have our very first division of, again, 3-year-old colt pacers with a purse of $4,054. We have a field of 6 that has been scratched down to a field of 5, and we will go through that change later on. So starting off on our rail, we have Little Legend. Mark St. Louis Jr. will be behind the lines for trainer Stacy Curry, coming off of a win at Bucyrus, so not too long ago at all. Did go wire to wire in that start and finished in 158-4. Has 10 starts on the year. No prior starts as a 2-year-old. 2 wins for this bit of legend in gelding.
Number 2 is Nacho Dragon. 3-year-old by Fear the Dragon out of Nacho Mania Blue Chip by Rock and Roll Heaven. Eric Hirschberger, the owner of Dundee, Ohio. Kara Miller of Dundee. Trainer is Wes Hirschberger. Chris Hirschberger is in the sulky. Here comes Rogers with the post parade.
$4,054 in memory of James Spearman. Number 1 is Little Legend, the driver Mark St. Louis Jr. Number 2, Nacho Dragon with Chris Hirschberger. Number 3, Cruiser with Class, driver Charlie Neff. The 4, Rose Run Zach, Derek Wadaker. The 5 is scratched. The 6, Cinder Lane Cruiser. 8, the driver Nick Clegg.
That's our field 9, number 2 finisher. He's got 7 starts this win. 7 starts this year. 1 win in Northfield in the slop of 156-4. Shows last week. 3rd at Carrollton. Pick him his last quarter, 28-4. Mile and 2-1-4. He is a Ohio Select yearling yearling for $10,000. A bargain price has $19,000 on his card so far a lifetime. Number 2, Nacho Dragon. Number 3 is...
We have a Yankee Cruiser colt by the name of Cruiser with Class, trained, driven, owned, and bred by Charles Neff. Had some tough luck behind the gate in the last start out. Did make a break, an early miscue, but the start before that, 2 back, was also a dead heat for win. And this is one that has starts in the Buckeye Stallion Series. Second leg had a 4th place finished. And in the first leg, we had a 2nd place finish in the BSS. 9 starts on the year, 1 win, 3 seconds, 1 third. Has made $26,000 this year.
And he's got a chunk of change. Number 4 is Rose Run Zach. Derek Wadaker drives and trains for Wadaker La Racing LLC of Zanesville. This by the Ponderosa. He's out of A and G's Delight by Olive American Native has 7 starts this year, 1 win. That's at Scioto, and 154 flat. And that was in, well, it has been in the Sherman late closers, has been in the Buckeye Stallion Series, paced in 55-2, did go in 53-4 at Scioto in a non-wins at 2. Unfortunately, the mile went in 53 flat, but he finished 7th. Number 4, Rose Run Zach. Number 5 is Scratch. Number 6.
Yeah, number 6 to round out our field, Betty Clegg, our current leading trainer for Ohio County Fair Circuits, is sending Cinder Lane Cruiser, another Yankee Cruiser, gelding behind the gate. Nick Clegg will get that drive coming off of a second from Bucyrus again just a couple of days ago. Has had a mark last year as a 2-year-old in 155-4. Last start out, really had the pocket trip and stayed there and finished second in 158-4. 18 starts on this year and has hit the board 6 times.
Yes, nice 10 wins and 8 seconds and 4 thirds and 43 starts. They're moving behind the gate. Currently the crowd favorite. Number 3, Cruiser with Class, 1-2. Here's Roger Houston for the call of the second.
Pacers are all in behind the gate. The gate swings into the stretch, and here they come. They're off and pacing. Little Legend goes for the lead. Nacho Dragon on the outside second. 3 wide into the turn. Cinder Lane Cruiser going right on to the top. Rose Run Zach is 4th and trailing the field. Cruiser with Class. On to the backside they go. Cinder Lane Cruiser and Nick Clegg lead the way by a length. Right back out. Mark St. Louis Jr. on the outside with Little Legend on the retake. Nacho Dragon is 3rd. Rose Run Zach 4th. Trailing the field, Cruiser with Class. Opening quarter, 29-3. All in straight alignment as they race around the turn, going to the 3/8 mark. It's Little Legend with the lead by a length and a quarter. Cinder Lane Cruiser is here 2nd. Nacho Dragon 3rd. Rose Run Zach and treading the field, Cruiser with Class. Outside cover begins. Moving up on the outside, Rose Run Zach, followed by Cruiser with Class at the halfway point. Little Legend has the lead. They race over to the half in 1:01. Into the turn they go. On the outside, Rose Run Zach is now 2nd. Inside, Cinder Lane Cruiser. Racing on the outside, Cruiser with Class and true heading the field, Nacho Dragon. Down the backside they go. On top of the field, it's Little Legend with the lead. Rose Run Zach on the outside 2nd, racing 3rd, Cinder Lane Cruiser. On the move on the outside, Cruiser with Class, now 4th and moving up. Racing 5th, Nacho Dragon, 3 quarters, 130-3, 29-3. 3rd panel. 3 wide, Cruiser with Class coming on. Into the stretch, Little Legend has the lead. On the outside, Rose Run Zach. Closing ground, Cruiser with Class on the outside. Through the lane, Rose Run Zach. Cruiser with Class closing on the outside. Cinder Lane Cruiser coming to the wire. Photo for win.
Ashley Daly, shall I give a guess?
You give your guess. Let's see if they're right, if we're similar.
Looks like 4-3-6 to me.
I went 3-4-6.
Oh my!
Maybe we can't agree on much.
Well, we can agree it's a beautiful day for racing.
That is always true. Always true. I don't think Roger gave us that final mile time.
No. So the That was close. Another close race. The Cruiser with Class, he was coming off, was going to that last turn. He was a little hesitant to go 3 wide.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he did go 3 wide, but they did go a good last quarter. And if you have a eighth of a mile where you have to go all out, whether it's 14 seconds flat or it's tough to pick up ground.
Right. You could definitely tell out of the gate, though, that Charles Neff and that 3-horse, they were playing the long game. He was the only one who did not leave out of the gate. And you could see, actually, on the backside, he kind of got a little, he just fell back.
Yeah.
He fell back. He gapped out a little bit, and Charles asked him to go, and he answered it. He was playing the long game.
Driving plan was a swoop by him.
All right.
I tell you, the good horses like this, are tough to swoop by them. They all have.
Three.
Another win for Ashley Daly.
I'm not sure if Roger's voice came through on that one. So we are unofficial, but Roger did call unofficial 3, 4, 6.
Pick up sticks. I'll tell you, the racing fans, the handicappers, they're happy. Went off 1 to 5, and the 4 was 9 to 2. The two co-favorites. We haven't got an official time. Let me see if I can be wrong again. Okay. I'm going to say.
Well, we got to the
59 and 4. No, we're going to. No. 59. 2 minutes and 3/5.
You can't change your answer like
2
that.
2 minutes and 1/5. Somewhere around there.
They were coming home pretty good, though. I'll give you that. Especially coming 3 wide.
Here is the number 3 Cruiser with Class. This is Colt's second win this year, 10 starts, second lifetime win. Very impressive. Last week he made a break. That's why he was set himself and just get him out of there, get him away. And he didn't want to make another break.
Winner of the second race, home talent 3-year-old Colt and Gelding Pace, the James Spearman Memorial. Number 3, Cruiser with Class. Charlie Neff, Commercial Point, Ohio, owns, trains, and drives the 3-year-old Colt by Yankee Cruiser out of Classy but Sassy. Home a winner in 2 minutes, 4/5. Final half, 59 and 4. Final quarter, 30 and 1/5.
So your second guess was closer.
I think
I'll give you that.
My third guess, if I had a fourth guess, I would have ripped right on the money. They come home in 30 and 1. But as again, that last panel, that last 8, that last 16, the last 20 feet was where it was decided.
Some tough racing today. Some
impressive.
tough horses out here.
Very, very impressive. We'll get the rundown, but that's for 5-horse race, and that close. I bet you, it was dead heat, and there was only maybe 4 inches in that finish. And that's after a mile.
Little Legend 4, the 2 Nacho Dragon 5, the 3 Cruiser with Class, the winner, the 4 Rose Run Zach 2, the 5 was scratched, the 6 Cinderlane Cruiser 3, top down 4, 5, 1, 2 scratch, 3 on the bottom, the quarter 29 and 3, the half 101, 3/4 130 and 3, the mile 2 minutes 4/5.
All right, so Roger sends us out of our second race here at Mount Vernon. Cruiser with Class gets that win in 2 minutes and 4/5. And we will be right back for our third race after some brief messages.
At Ohio State's Galbraith Equine Center, our veterinary champions are here for your champions 24/7, 365 days a year. Our expert team of boarded surgeons, sports medicine and rehabilitation specialists, together with veterinary cardiologists, internal medicine, and ophthalmologists, make our hospital your best resource for all sport horse performance issues. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center's Galbraith Equine Hospital. Call us today at 614-292-6661. Volstead, Coach K Hanover, Slay. Ohio's top trotters stand at Dublin Valley Farms. Volstead's offspring include Sugar Instead, the 2023 Ohio 2-year-old Trotting Filly of the Year, and 2024 Ohio Sire Stakes winner Jurassic Hattie. Coach K Hanover, the son of world record holder Walner, and Slay, the son of Chapter 7, standing his first season at Dublin Valley Farms.
We are back here for race 3 as Tom Pye and I get our groove together here. So you're joining us at Knox County Fair here in Mount Vernon. We are going into race 3, the first division of 2-year-old colt pacers for a purse of $6,200.
I'll start it out. Number 1 is Pure Dragon. Mario Wilson is in the sulky. Betty Clegg, trained and owned, Fear the Dragon. Out of Pure Made by Always a Virgin. 6 starts, 1 win, 2 seconds. Has won at Circleville, which is back in early July. No, that was back in June, middle of June, in 2, 4, and 1. Has $4,682 on the card. This Buckeye blooded horse sale of $10,000. Looks good. He's been improving. 2 minutes last week at the Bucyrus and has been 2 minutes up at Northfield, second, and 2 minutes and 3/5. So Pure Dragon, number 1. And number 2 is...
We have center line Story in our post position 2, Betty Clegg Train. So we have another Betty Clegg horse. And Nick Clegg will drive the 2. This is a horse that is very consistent, has 6 starts on the year, has 2 wins, 3 seconds, and 1/3. So has hit the board every single time that this well-said gelding has come out. He was a $12,000 purchase from the Ohio Select Sale and has already made $8,000 lifetime.
Yes, number 3 is Brush It Off. This is a Marion Chubb owned and trained 2-year-old colt by Mr. Big out of Fox Valley Sage by Richest Hanover. This is the first time in a stake race. Had to go qualifier last week in 2:03 flat. From last quarter, 32-1. A nice qualifier for a young horse. Eric Miller gets the call. And number 3, Brush It Off. Number 4 is...
We have Red Hot Ember. So this is a Linda Main trained. Lanny Merriman will be in the sulky. This horse is definitely still trying to figure it out. Has 2 starts, did have early miscues out of the gate, but it's new in the season. It's young in the season. This is a 2-year-old colt out of Catch the Fire.
Catch the Fire. Nice horse that he was. Number 5 is Down to Party. This is a 2-year-old gelding by Down by the Seaside out of Marty Party, 2 by Yankee Cruiser, owned by Larry Wills of Columbus. Virgil Morgan Jr. is the trainer. Look at Virgil's stats: 448 starts, 110 wins. Austin Hannas will be in the sulky. This is a 1 start. This is his second time in front of the grandstand, or I should say in front of a crowd. Last week in a Buckeye Stallion Series, he paced a mile in 56-3 at Scioto. Come last quarter, 28-1. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was only good enough to be beaten 16 lengths. He finished 6th. That mile went in 153-2. That is the Buckeye Stallion Series. Now, number 2, Down to Party. Number 6 is...
We have Emmanuel Miller in the bike. Ponderosa Dream is leaving from our 6th post position. Mike Spearman trains the 2-year-old colt out of the Ponderosa. Only has 1 start, so this will be our 2nd start out for this colt. It's figuring out still. So it did end up 5th at distance at Hilliard, so just a handful of days ago. But there is our field of 6. And here, a quick reminder, if you are just joining us, we do score 6 wide here at Mount Vernon.
The horses, here comes out the 6 coming out now. I'm going to take this time, I'm going to probably give you a half shout out to our officials here. Of course, you have Rogers, the announcer. Starting gate, Mike Webkenberg. Presiding judge is Rod Newhart. The clerk charter, Deborah Rush. Associate judge is David Statz and Kim.
Kim Poma.
Yes, OHHA.
Say we have a lot of OHHA folks in the house today.
A very multi-talented group at OHH.
We like to think so.
Except for, I'm just a catch driver once in a while, catch announcers. But speed superintendent is Todd Carpenter. So those are our crews. They always wouldn't believe the amount of work that they have to do when they say go. Everyone has a job to do, and they get it up really nice and smooth. It's tough when there's a tight photo finish, though, very tight, because now everyone has an opinion. And I just Susan Schroeder, she says, I said, yeah, she says, opinions are like birthdays. Everyone has one.
And if you would like to take a look at the program, head on over to harnessracingohio.com. That is uploaded for you to follow right along with us. We have an early card and a late card here at Mount Vernon today. Of course, you know when the early card is if you're joining us now, but if you just so love us so much, please come back 6 p.m. We will have another 10 races, and the fillies will go behind the gate.
Yes, and currently, too, if you do go to the Harness Racing Ohio site, you can see that we're going live at Washington Courthouse. So you got to have a dual screen, just because we're having great races here, great racing at Washington Courthouse. I might even throw a little super 4-horse picks later on down Washington Courthouse. I can't pick the winners here. I'm my usual inane self. Inept, that's the word, inept.
Let me hop on Facebook really quick and see. Washington Courthouse did have a post time of 11 a.m. See what race, if my internet is good enough to see what race they are on. Looks like race 6.
Race 6.
Then we must have, interesting, okay.
Okay. And we're on race 2 here. Race 6, I'm just going to give you the coming before he comes there. Race 6, you got Petra Paper. These are stars of the future. I guarantee you. Petra. Race 7, Ella Joe. Race 8, Maddie's Delight. And race 12, Big Bad Ellie. Horses to watch. Maybe if you want to wager, you can. So, here at...
Well, that's Washington Courthouse, right?
But here at Mount Vernon, I'm going to have to... We've got a lot of good horses here, too. Currently, the favorite is number 2, Center Story. My Blood Runs Cold. It's Nick and Betty Clegg. 2-5.
Looks like we are still waiting for one horse to make his way to the track before we post parade for this third race.
As they call waiting on Mr. Wilson.
So I know very early on we talked about the all-age trot track record. If anybody is curious out there, our all-age pace is 157, set in 2012 by Mr. I Am. That horse had 307 starts and earned over $250,000 and took a record at Scioto Downs as a 3-year-old in 153-3.
They're heading. Here's Roger with the post parade.
Hometown and Colt Stakes, 2-year-old colt and gelding pace, first division. Purse is $6,200. Trophy by Hagerman Racing Stable. Dragon, Mario Wilson, the driver. Number 2, Center Story with Nick Clegg. The 3, Brush It Off, Eric Miller. The 4, Red Hot Ember, the driver, Lanny Merriman. Number 5, Down to Party with Austin Hanners. And number 6, Ponderosa Dream, Emmanuel Miller in the sulky. Horses will take one score and...
All right, so there is our field for race 3, 6 horses on the track. 2-year-old colt pacers.
On these, what's enjoyable is watching these young horses at 2 years old. And of course, through the years and all that, worked with a lot of old horses. I love young horses, and I also, of course, an old class horse, like going 14 years old. You just have to say what great animals, because they love it. But here's a 2-year-olds, and some of them stand out. They look like race horses already. I mean, what I mean by that, they just carry it's like a prize fighter. They look like they're going to go. And I just, with Center Story, Nick Clegsholt, he had that look. And, of course, he's already hasn't been off the board, as Ashley said. 2 wins, 3 seconds, and 1/3 in 6 starts. Mark, 2 minutes and 3/5 at Northfield. And he does look like a little prize fighter out there.
You know, so a couple weeks, well, it was last weekend, so I'm already missing my days up. Last weekend, I spent some time at Briarfest in Lexington. So it's a really big horse event, a lot of people, right? So OHHA and Harness Horse Youth Foundation, we had a program down there, and right across from us, we had thoroughbreds. So I got talking to them for quite some time, and it's just amazing comparing the two and then talking about how these 2-year-olds are just race horses. A lot of them are race horses off the bat. And I was explaining to the girls thoroughbred girls who didn't know much about standardbreds, how extreme our sport and the breeding and how fast these horses have gone in, 5 years' time. How quick. Just seeing how these sire stakes, like how the miles that these horses are putting in. And thoroughbreds, on the other hand, they've kind of hit a halt.
Yes.
They haven't had any world records broken, especially I think it's on turf, for quite some time. And it's just, we're so different in how our breed is just elevating. And these 2-year-olds come out here. And especially we see it at the pari-mutuel tracks. The drivers tend to drive them like racehorses. And it's nice to come back to the grassroots of racing where we have some time to teach them where to go and not just
absolutely
fast off the bat.
And as I say, we get to see the stars of tomorrow today. And with that, we're going to go up into Roger Houston for the call of the 3rd Home Talent Colt Stakes for 2-year-old pacing colts and geldings, live from Mount Vernon, Ohio, the Knox County Fair.
Stretch and here they come. They're off and pacing that Center Story for the lead. Down to Party on the outside second. Pure Dragon gets away third. Into the turn, Brush It Off racing fourth. Fifth is Red Hot Ember, and trailing the field, Ponderosa Dream. Straight alignment as they race around the turn, going to the first quarter mark. On top of the field, it's Center Story, showing the way by a length and a half. Racing second, down the backside, Down to Party. Racing third, as they race by the opening quarter, it's Pure Dragon. Fourth is Brush It Off. Racing fifth, Red Hot Ember, and trailing, Ponderosa Dream. Opening quarter in a slow 34 seconds. Midway around the turn, here comes Lanny Merriman and Red Hot Ember on the move on the outside. Moving up as well is Mario Wilson with Pure Dragon. Into the lane first time, coming to the halfway point. On top of the field, it's Center Story. On the outside, Pure Dragon is there second. Racing third, Down to Party. Fourth on the outside, Red Hot Ember. As they race into the turn, Brush It Off is fifth. Halfway home, 107-1. On to the backside, Ponderosa Dream trails the field. Around the turn they go. It's Center Story with the lead. Pure Dragon on the outside second, going the long mile. Racing third, Down to Party. Fourth on the outside, Red Hot Ember. Racing fifth, Brush It Off. Trailing the field, Ponderosa Dream. 3 wide, Red Hot Ember and Lanny Merriman. Now fourth, now third, moving up after the leader. Austin Hanners looking for daylight with Down to Party. 3/4, 140 flat. Midway around the turn, Center Story with the lead. Down to Party's on the move on the outside second. Less than an 8 to go. Down to Party on the outside. Center Story second. Coming home, it's all Down to Party. Center Story second. Red Hot Ember third. The mile 2:08.
Looks like unofficial. I had 5-2-4-3 across the finish line.
I'm going to agree with you.
We don't have to disagree this time. So Austin Hanners, big move in that last quarter for trainer Virgil Morgan on Down to Party.
The last quarter, 28 flat with a mile, the last half in 1:01. And 5-2-4 Down to Party. Austin Hanners, Virgil Morgan Jr. This is a Colt's second start, second time in front of a grandstand. And went off at 1-2. Just for you. A nice smile, though. Close. Strategy didn't work too well out, but Virgil Morgan and Austin Hanover's were in position to win it.
Austin Hanners has really made himself a staple. You know, we know him around the county fairs, but he is absolutely tearing it up.
He is.
At Scioto Downs, I mean, the stakes, he's really, really coming into himself as a young driver, and so is his brother, Luke. I say they are a force to be reckoned with, and of course their dad was. Their dad was quite phenomenal himself.
Bradley Hanners. Their cousins were kind of tough, too.
Oh yeah, the Smiths boys. Can't forget
Tyler
about them.
and Trevor.
They have had, I mean, even Jeff, right? So I think about Pen Paper Page and the whole family. It's coming from a harness racing family myself. I completely understand the ties, but it's still so special. Still so special, especially when you got a little bit of success behind you. It makes it just a touch sweeter.
When we were with the USHWA, the United States Harness Riding Association, we're talking about nominating new drivers, and this is a couple of 3 years ago, and Austin Hanover. How about Austin Hanners was our nomination.
Yeah, he did win the Peter Houghton Award for Ohio.
Not yet.
2 years ago.
Who did?
Austin Hanners.
He did?
He
Okay.
did, and it was very important to him because his dad had won. His dad won previously, so.
Generations.
Right, and here is our 5-horse, our winner of our third race, Down to Party.
Trophy by Hagerman Racing Stable. To number 5, Down to Party. Larry Wills of Columbus, Ohio. Virgil Morgan Jr., the winning trainer. Austin Hanners in the sulky. 2-year-old gelding, but down by the seaside out of Marty Party 2. A winner in 2:08. Lifetime best for Down to Party. Final half, 1 and 4/5. The final quarter, 28 seconds. Hagerman Racing Stable blanket to number 5, Down to Party.
Here's the results.
Number 1, Pure Dragon, 5. The 2, Center Story, 2. The 3, Brush It Off, 4. The 4, Red Hot Ember, 3. The 5, Down to Party, the winner. The 6, Ponderosa Dream, 6. Top down, 5-2-4, 3-1, 6 on the bottom. The quarter, 34. The half, 107.1. 3/4, 140. The mile, 2:08.
That's our third race. If you want tight finishes, we have them here at Mount Vernon. Coming up to the fourth. Fourth is a 2-year-old Colton Gelling trot. This is the second trot of today, and we have 6 in it to win it. We shall be back to peruse over the program after these few messages.
For over 50 years, Midland Acres has provided top-quality Ohio-bred colts and fillies. As a third-generation farm, we understand the importance of delivering well-cared-for and well-mannered yearlings. Get in the winner's circle with the yearlings by Fear the Dragon, Yankee Cruiser, Long Tom, Summa Cum Laude, Ready for Money, and Bit of a Legend. See our yearlings at the Blooded Horse Sale August 27th and the Ohio Select Sale September 13th.
When you need supplies for your horse, one name stands out: Big D's. Since 1976, Big D's Tack and Vet Supply has been the equine experts you can trust. Whatever your horse needs is available at Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Visit the retail outlet in Streetsboro, Ohio, or order online at bigdweb.com for fast shipping. Most orders ship that day. Or call 1-800-321-2142. Big D's Tack and Vet Supply.
You are joining us here in Mount Vernon for the 4th race of the early card. We have 11 on tap total this afternoon. Going into our 4th race, it is the first division of the 2-year-old Colt Trotters, purse of $6,460. Another field of 6. So we have some pretty full fields today because we do score 6 wide here in Knox County. And so we have on the rail, our 1-horse Cherry's Prize. Charlie Myrick will train and drive this 2-year-old gelding by Enterprise. 2 starts on the year with 1 second, and that came the last start out at Carrollton. Was second after an early miscue from the gate, finished that mile, and that mile went in 2:12:1.
Number 2 is Jet Wings, Virgil Morgan trainee, and it's by 2-year-old gelding by What the Hill out of Schlammer, and by Lear Jetta, owned by Joyce McClellan of Zanesville. This is the 3rd start in front of the grandstand, in front of the crowd. 2 wins, 2 seconds, 2 starts. That's the word I'm looking for. 1 win. And that was last week at Hilliard, and did win dominantly by 6.5, and went a mile in 2:07:1, and last quarter 31. Jet Wings and Austin Hanover. Will we have 2 in a row in Ohio for the Morgan Jr. Hannah's combination? We'll soon find out. Number 3.
Number 3, we have Blast. Darren Harvey drives and trains 2-year-old gelding out of. How do you pronounce that?
Pardon?
Who is he out of? My printer is wrong.
Marseille.
And so, all right, so there we go. 2-year-old gelding out of Marseille.
I thought he was
starting to figure things out. We have the last 2 starts. We have had 3rd place finishes. So 3 starts on the year, hoping, I'm sure, for maybe a first win.
And where's Wayne Mass Jr. from?
Dundee, Ohio?
Dundee, that famous town, Dundee. Had a blast in Dundee. Number 4 is Our Boss. I remember this horse from last week. A dominant win, a nice win. It's a Nick and Betty Clegg combo, owned by Betty Jo Clegg of Northfield. This is an Enterprise 2-year-old gelding out of Don't Even Know My Name by Mr. Levesque, and I had to say that slowly. 2 starts this year, 1 win. That was last week at Bucyrus, 2-7 flat. Last quarter, 30-4. Win by a length and a quarter, but that was an Impertinence's League. Nick Clegg does the driving. Number 4, Our Boss. And number 5 is...
Yes, we have Rosie Weaver will train, drive, and owns the 5, Ryan the Lion. 2-year-old Uncle Peter Colt. This will be our 5th start out. Still looking for that first win, but has had 2 third-place finishes.
Yes, looking with this is... Thank you for leaving this in Nabahai.
Oh, Nabahai.
Nabahai. Nabahai. Okay, Nabahai is an Enterprise 2-year-old out of Zainab Royal, out of RC Royalty, owned by Anne Marie Daly and Jared Daly, and trained by Ryan Miller, and driven by Jason Thompson. One lifetime start, that was at Vernon Downs in beautiful upstate New York. Dan Daly did the driving back then. 2 minutes and a fifth. Of course, Vernon Downs is a 7/8 mile. It used to be a mile track, but they changed it to a 7/8. You had a chute that you would come into there. They used to call it the home of the Miracle Mile. And one of the horses that held the track record there was Brett Hanover. And which is a long time.
Yes.
And then Adios Butler.
Some
Adios
big
Harry,
names.
one of those Adios horses. But yeah, it's out in the middle of nowhere. Little Vernon is got like maybe 1,000 people and 13 bars. It's a great stop in the Grand Circuit, though. But Nabahai, Jason Thompson in the sulky. Anne Marie Daly and Dan Daly, as you get, I believe that Jared Daly, he is a member of Congress down in Georgia. But he's a young man, probably about 30, 35 years old, but he goes to Congress. But the Dalys, and I go back, I know Dan Daly 50 years ago when we were up in Saratoga. And
Tom, where do you store all this information? Where do you store all this information?
I make it up. I make it up.
You know what? That makes a lot of sense.
I never met Dan Daly in my life. No.
Oh, that makes so much more sense, Tom. You had said out of the Master Levesque filly, kind of while we're waiting for all of our horses to take to the track, Master Levesque, we had my favorite horse ever. And I know my mom is not watching, but I was itty bitty. I don't even know if I was in elementary school yet. We had a horse by the name of Slick Levesque out of Master Levesque. And that, oh my gosh, when we got rid of that horse, it tore my heart to pieces. And so, oddly enough, I always have had a soft spot.
Oh, yeah.
For
You
the
always
Master
do.
Levesque. Yep.
And Master Levesque was a great animal, great trotter. And maybe you could look up his stats for us.
We should.
Eyes with
Okay,
Charlie Myrick.
because
The 2, Jet Wings with Austin Hanners. The 3, Blast, Darren Harvey. The 4, Our Boss, Nick Clegg. Number 5, Ryan the Lion with Rosie Weaver. And number 6, Nababi with Jason Thompson in the sulky.
There is our field of 6.
Incidentally, Ashley is, if folks want to look up stats or any other information, this goes to ustrotting.com, and they have a pathway account, and that gives you all the information on every horse. That is one of the things, if you don't know the answer, if you know where to look it up, that's one of the most important things. Everyone goes on pathway, but it tells you how many starts they have. And just the other day at Bucyrus, Jay Wolf, who's a vast encyclopedia of that, he brought up Southwind's Amazon lifetime racing records, and I couldn't even come close to guessing there. Matt Clark was much closer than I was, but his lifetime stats are one of the most amazing things of that animal. He had 133 wins, lifetime wins, going for the most wins, the old 14-year-old, and 132 of them were below 2 minutes.
Wow.
And it's just mind-boggling. And Miss Staley with the D, Mr. Levesque was...
Mr. Levesque or Master Levesque? Which one? I'm looking at
Master
Levesque.
Well, that's when he was a younger horse, Master Levesque.
Oh, he's out of Mr. Levesque.
Yeah.
So you're out.
I didn't know that. Well, I took a guess.
All right. So Master Levesque,
Is
a 1997 model, only raced 2 years. and made almost $600,000. 21 starts in his lifetime, 11 of those were wins.
What do you have a mark of?
In 156 and 4.
Nice animal. Josie, but that's Pathway. See how quick that was? That was just, should look it up.
Yeah, for people like me who don't have the brain and cannot remember every stat ever, because you're pretty good at that.
Yeah, right. I just, something, one of those things. Well, see, if you be on this earth long enough, you do accrue a lot of useless facts and figures. It's like, I call it Bibelot. And, but then a lot of times I get my incorrect. I get them crossed up. I get my circuits crossed up. So, but that is true. It's again with these like Master Levesque and Donato Hanover. One of those horses raced in Broadway Hall, and going back, the Hall horses out of they stood at the Land of Lobel Farms, and Alan Levitt. He bred. Now I can't remember his name now, but all those all horses, and they go back to Noble Victory. Noble Victory, foal of 1962, but David Allen rubbed him when he was 16. And
So here we go again with all the information.
But this is when you look at these things and say, I remember those horses.
Right. So
They're behind the gate. We've got to concentrate on race number 4 from Mount Vernon, Ohio, the Knox County Field. This is the first division of 2-year-old trotting colts and geldings. 6 of them to win it. Favorite currently 1-5 is Jet Wings, and that Virgil Morgan and Austin Hanna's. Here's Roger with the call.
Turn. The gate swings into the stretch, and here they come. They're off and trotting. That's Blast going for the lead. Our Boss gets away second. On the inside, Cherry's Prize third. Racing fourth as they race into the turn. That is Ryan the Lion. Racing fifth, taking a seat, Nababi. And treading the field. Onto the backside they go. Jet Wings. On top of the field, it's Blast and Darren Harvey leading the way by 4 lengths. Racing second is Our Boss as they race by the opening quarter. Cherry's Prize racing third. Opening panel in 32 seconds. Into the turn they go. Ryan the Lion fourth. Fifth is Nababi, and treading the field, Jet Wings, all in straight alignment as they race over to the 3/8 mark. Blast and Darren Harvey lead the way now by 3. Closing the gap a bit, Nick Clegg and Our Boss is there second. Racing third, Cherry's Prize. Out moving on the outside, Nababi and Jason Thompson fourth. Racing fifth, Ryan the Lion. Treading the field, Jet Wings. Into the turn, off the half, 103 4/5. On to the backside they go. Blast continues to lead by a length and 3/4. Our Boss inching up with each and every stride second. Cherry's Prize third. Racing fourth, Ryan the Lion. On the outside, Nababi. Treading the field, Jet Wings going to the 3/4 mark. Here comes Cherry's Prize. Charlie Myrick out and moving between horses. Our Boss going to the 3/4 mark. Off stride is Cherry's Prize at the 3/4 in 1:34. Midway around the final turn, Our Boss on the outside. Nababi closing around 3 wide off the turn. Blast is inside third. Into the stretch they come. On the outside, Nababi closing in with each and every stride. Our Boss is second. It's Nababi and Jason Thompson drawn away. Our Boss second. Jet Wings third. The mile, 2:06 4/5.
That was Nabai zooming on by. New lifetime mark, 2:06 4. Ashley Daly. And I have written what you have written down.
Do we agree on this one?
6-4-2. I'm playing it safe now.
I say, are you just looking at my program? I say no dead heat on that one, but there, Nabai, trained by Ryan Miller. First lifetime start. All right, we do have an inquiry on the 4.
Hold all your tickets. Dun, 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 dun. Well, it's like this, Your Honor. I was on the backside, and he just went into a run. So again, there's so many with young horses like that. We're just talking about the young horses going by the grandstand for the first time, and they see, oh, we have a great crowd here. We have hundreds of people in here.
We do. We have a great crowd. And here in front of our grandstand, we have our winner.
Miller, the winning trainer. Jason Thompson in the sulky. 2-year-old Gelding by Enterprise out of Xana Royal, home a winner in a lifetime best, 206 4/5.
How many?
How many races?
11.
Huh?
11.
11, and then tonight again?
They have 10.
10. Okay.
And that comes in.
So our winner of our 4th race of First Division for 2-year-old colt trotters, Nabai takes it in 206 4. We are still waiting on that official rundown because we do have an inquiry against the 4. So we will hang out for just a moment.
Charlie Myrick, go to the starting gate right away.
And taking a really quick look at some of our Facebook comments. I apologize, I have not kept up with them, but our owner, Anne-Marie Daly, says this was her very first Ohio Fair race. Well, congratulations to you. First time starter, first time winner. Not a bad way to get it rolling.
And Anne-Marie, and welcome to Ohio. And say hi to Dan. I'm sure Dan, I saw Dan 5-6 years ago, maybe 20 years ago. It seems like 5 or 6. But yeah, they're great trainers. They got a lot of trotting horses. But I know, in fact, speaking of first win, there's a gal up in Bucyrus. She's been around horses her entire life. And she bought a horse this past year and owns it, and the other day at Bucyrus had her very first win as an owner.
All right, so there was Roger letting us know that the inquiry sign is down. Says no change in order, but I don't believe he did give that official yet.
No.
Yeah, he did not give that official.
It does not affect the winner, though, I do not believe.
No, it should not. It should not.
I've been wrong before, but
Here comes Roger, the official.
First prize 6, the 2 Jet Wings 3, the 3 Blast 5, the 4 Our Boss 2, the 5 Ryan the Lion 4, the 6 Nababi, the winner. Top down 6, 3, 5, 2, 4, 1 on the bottom, the quarter 32, the half 103, 4, 3/4 134, the mile 206 4/5. No changes in the 5th.
Now, if you could look just a thing at the 6 paid $6.20, the 4 paid $18 to place, and 6-4 exacta $32.40. Quinella was $13. No trifectas, I don't believe in that race, but who needs trifectas when you get a $32 exacta? And that was a great race, and the favorite finished 3rd. Saved a lot of show people money. So we shall be coming back More excitement, more great racing from the Mount Vernon, Ohio, and the Knox County Fair. 5th race coming up. This is for 3-year-old Colton Gelding Trotters. We shall return after these messages.
Do you want your horse to shine in the winner's circle? Feed DAC Oil. It makes a world of difference.
The thrill and excitement of Grand Circuit Racing returns to the Delaware County Fairgrounds. Make your plans to attend the 78th Little Brown Jug. You win the Little Brown Jug! Little Brown Jug Week starts Sunday, September 17th with the 78th Little Brown Jug Thursday the 21st. Visit littlebrownjug.com or call 1-800-DEL-FAIR for ticket information. Be there!
Horse.
So we are back for race 5 here at Knox County in Mount Vernon. We have a second division of trotters. If you would like to follow along with the program to see what we are talking about all day long, please head over to harnessracingohio.com.
This
Tom,
fifth race.
would you like to introduce us to the field?
We're on the 5th race, correct? Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
It's not windy up here. My pages aren't blowing all over the place, so I could keep track of them. This is for 3-year-old trotting colts and gelding. This is a second division. They go for $4,027. Number 1 is Sweet Vacation.
Sweet Vacation.
He is a 3-year-old gelding by Creatine out of Short Vacation by Dream Vacation. Charlie Merrick is the trainer. Second Chance Staples of Reno, Ohio, the owner. Charlie Merrick is in the sulky. 12 starts, hasn't hit the board, but has trotted in 59 apiece at Northfield and 58 in Scioto. Was in the Buckeye Stallion Series, went in 58-1. Mile went in 55-3. So Sweet Vacation. And Charlie Merrick. And number 2 is...
We have Dublin Rock and Jerry, trained by Herman Hagerman. Mark St. Louis, our leading driver of the Ohio County Fairs, will get that call. This 3-year-old gelding out of Enterprise is coming off of 2 wins, so looking to make it 3 straight here in Ohio. Both of those wins came, well, the last one came from Bucyrus, and previous to that was out of Hilliard. 15 starts on the year, 3 wins, 1 second, and has made over $21,000. Took a mark this year at Scioto Downs in 1:57.
Number 3 is Mr. Sweet. Let's see. 3-year-old gelding by Mr. Anson out of Really, Really Sweet by Thunder Road. 9 starts, 1 win, 2 seconds, 1 third. Mark of 1:56 at Scioto. And this shows a card. Has been racing tough. Raced in the Kevin Greenfield. Trotted in 57-2. That was only good for 9th. They went in 55-4, but did win the Gable late closer in 1:56 at Scioto, and come back from 56-4 in the Buckeye Stallion. Was only good for 5th. So again, Mr. Sweet, Brian Giller, and trains, drives around for Harry Yoda of Apple Creek. Number 4.
We have Mindful Amos. This is another Clegg horse. Betty Clegg trains. Nick Clegg will get that drive. This is another gelding out of Enterprise. Had some tough luck at Bucyrus the last start. Did make a break in the middle of the race. Previous to that, at Hilliard, we did have a second. So 14 starts on the year, 1 win, 1 second, and 1 third. Had a little bit of better luck the previous year as a 2-year-old and did make $24,000. So that has bankrolled now lifetime earnings of $35,454.
Number 5 is Solomon Seal, 3-year-old Volstead gelding out of Forget You by Don't You Forget It. is Daniel Miller trained. Daniel Miller drives for Veryland Stables of Oroville, Ohio. 4 starts this year, hasn't hit the board, has trotted, won the qualifier up at Northfield at 2-4 flat. Number 5, Solomon Seal. Number 6 is...
You Don't Fool Me. Rosie Weaver trains. Drew Neal will be behind the lines as a long Tom Gelding. Last start out at Hilliard, did have a third, is a starter in the BSS, so has kind of raced at that upper level. Has made lifetime $57,000. Took a mark earlier this year at Miami Valley in 157. 12 starts this year, 1 win, 2 seconds, and 4 third-place finishes.
And as you're pointing it out, Ashley, he was racing the Buckeye Stallion in the Richardson, and it's just been racing a lot of tough competition. Currently, he's long Tom Gelding is 99-1, but the favorite is 2, Double Rockin' Jerry and Herman Hageman. Coming wants to make it 3 straight in the Buckeye State. And I tell you, they got a lot of nice trotters in here. Nice. They're milling up in the backside. Again, picture perfect day. If you want to come to a county fair, this is what you're going to see. This is beautiful here. Of course, we have anytime there's bad weather, that's the luck of the draw. But on a day like today, just breathe in all those French fries and those cold beers. Can you breathe in the cold beers? But no, French fries, the onion rings. What a nice day.
So this is the second division of these 3-year-old colts to go forth. Our first division was the very first race, and if you were not tuned in, that was a dead heat in 202 and 3, our first division. So let's see if this field can go a touch faster. And it looks like we are going to head into the pros parade in just a moment.
These are the horses for the 5th race, Hometown at Coal Stake 3-year-old colt and gelding trot, memory of Tom Fowler. Number 1, Sweet Vacation, Charlie Myrick. The 2, Dublin Rockin' Jerry with Mark St. Louis Jr. The 3, Mr. Sweet with B.J. Miller. Number 4, Mindful Amos, Nick Clegg. Number 5, Solomon Seal with Daniel Miller. And number 6, You Don't Fool Me, Drew Neal in the sulky. Horse will take 1 score and go to the gate. Number 6, You Don't Fool Me, Drew Neal.
Again, we're coming on with these 6. We score 6 wide here at Mount Vernon. This is a second division, as Ashley has pointed out. First was a dead heat. They got a trophy goes to the winner with the fastest time. So I don't believe they will be able to beat the track record of 150.
The trotting track record is 158.
158. I don't believe they might. They might get up there, but I think this might be the fastest division. As they come scoring down there. Fine-looking group of 3-year-old trotters. This is in trophies presented in memory of Tom Fowler.
So taking a quick look at some Facebook comments while we are headed to the gate. Looks like we have Nysonger as a leading fair driver today. Did you get your information from Roger in Houston?
Well, Roger says there's so many
It's
fairs,
tough when they're everywhere.
and he's and coming in left and right, so he's going to have to compose. And of course, he's also announcing at a lot of them, so he's going to compose and compile those this weekend. But right now, Mark St. Louis might be the leading.
Regardless, we have a phenomenal driving quality that definitely even hop around to all these fairs. And Jeff Nysonger, of course, is the king of fairs.
Absolutely.
But Mark St. Louis is putting his name on the map.
Yep, and they coming in, of course, Dick and Betty, Betty Clegg, these past couple of years have just, I won't say dominated, but they have excellent years. When we were watching their 2-year-old Duncan, and I remember Roger saying Duncan. I says, yes, like Dunkin' Donuts. And he says, of course, we started talking about Dunkin' Donuts and Bill Rosenberg. And but Duncan is still racing at Yonkers. I believe he's 5 years old now, has over $470,000 on his card.
Wow.
And he started here on the fair tracks
Not
here.
a bad one to have in your stable.
No. So that's Nick and Betty. So watch Nick and Betty in this race. They have Mindful Amos, which is another nice colt. And from the rail out, Sweet Vacation, Dublin Jock and Jerry, Mr. Sweet, Mindful Amos, Solomon Seal, and You Don't Fool Me. This is Rosie Weaver on the outside. 3-year-old colts and geldings trot at Mountain Vernon from Knox County Fair. Here's Roger Houston for the call.
And here they come. They're off and trotting. Dublin Rockin' Jerry goes for the lead. Up on the outside, Mr. Sweet into the turn. Sweet Vacation gets away third. Off stride, Mr. Sweet. On to the backside they go. You Don't Fool Me out third, racing fourth. Down the backside they go. It's Solomon Seal racing fifth. Mindful Amos and trailing the field, following the break, Mr. Sweet. As they race over to the first quarter mark, on top, Mark St. Louis Jr. and Dublin Rockin' Jerry. Racing second is Sweet Vacation. Opening quarter, 32-1. Into the turn, You Don't Fool Me trots third. Racing fourth, it's Solomon Seal. Fifth, Mindful Amos and trailing the field, trying to catch the field, Mr. Sweet. Into the lane first time, coming to the halfway point. On top of the field, Dublin Rockin' Jerry. Up and moving on the outside. You Don't Fool Me now second. Racing third, Sweet Vacation. Fourth, Solomon Seal. Fifth is Mindful Amos. Treading the field, Mr. Sweet. Halfway home in 1:04. On to the backside they go. Dublin Rockin' Jerry by 3/4 of a length. On the outside, You Don't Fool Me second. Racing third, Sweet Vacation. Fourth, Solomon Seal. Racing fifth, Mindful Amos. The trailer remains Mr. Sweet. Nose to nose, head to head, toe to toe at the 3/4 mark. 3 quarters in 1:33, third quarter in 29 flat. On the inside with the lead, Dublin Rockin' Jerry. On the outside, You Don't Fool Me, back now a half a length. Into the stretch they come. Dublin Rockin' Jerry on the inside. You Don't Fool Me trying to come back on the outside. Dublin Rockin' Jerry on the inside. Drawing away with each and every stride. Dublin Rockin' Jerry, You Don't Fool Me, Sweet Vacation.
Mark down another win for Mark St. Louis Jr. He gets Dublin Rockin' Jerry to the finish line first.
And it looked like 2-6-1 just for fun. Now, I tell you, actually, Daly, that third quarter, 29 seconds, that is a classic. They put him away. That takes a lot to put a little of the starch out of a horse when he gets parked on the going up and challenge. I mean, a horse can live on the outside, but when you have to really use them, as they say, that'll wear them out. They'll lose all their energy coming for home.
So You Don't Fool Me. I mean, he was a challenger. He definitely was a challenger, but you could, if hopefully our camera picked it up, you could see when Mark St. Louis, he popped his plugs, and in that final turn, it was done. That was the decision was made from there. Still waiting on Roger to give us that final mile time.
And I'm not even going to venture to guess.
They got to the quarter in 1:33.
32? 1.
Did I?
104
Oh,
and a
yep,
half.
yep.
And the 29 seconds left. They were 133. I'm going to say 2-4 on a piece, just for a guess, for the heck. And here comes our Dublin Rockin' Jerry. The folks, Anthony Miller of Dundee, Ohio, and Hageman Racing of Mount Vernon, Ohio. Hometown boy, Herman Haggett.
And this win makes 3 straight for the Enterprise Gelding and 4 on the year.
And back in front of the stands, your unofficial winner of the 5th race. Home Talent Colt Stake 3-year-old Colton Gelding Trot. Number 2, Dublin Rockin' Jerry. Anthony Miller of Dundee, Ohio. Hagerman Racing of Mount Vernon, Ohio. Herman Hagerman, the winning trainer. Mark St. Louis Jr., our winningest driver at the county fairs this season. 3-year-old gelding, but Mr. Anson out of Really, Really Sweet. Home a winner in 2:03 1/5. Final half 59 and 1. Final quarter 30 and a 5th. Blanket memory of Tom Fowler to Dublin Rockin' Jerry, Herman Hagerman, and Mark St. Louis Jr.
They still had a kick coming home last quarter in 30 and 1. A mile and 2:03 and 1. That's half 59 and 1.
And quite a group down there for the
Yes.
winner picture.
As I say, Mark St. Louis can say, I like this Ohio. Have an exceptionally good year. They just got photobombed by the guy. He went to take the picture, he turned and leaned back and smiled. Huh? Oh, it is? That was the trainer warming him up. He got his good timing, that is. You have to have timing when you're a trainer. That was good timing. He smiled.
All right, and that wraps up our 5th race here at Mount Vernon. That was our 2nd division of the 3-year-old Colt Trot. We will be here. We're going to go official.
The 2, Dublin Rockin' Jerry, the winner. The 3, Mr. Sweet, 6. The 4, Mindful Amos, 4. The 5, Solomon Seal, 5. The 6, You Don't Fool Me, 2. Top down, 3-1-6, 4-5, 2 on the bottom. The quarter, 32 and 1. The half, 104. 3 quarters, 133. The mile, 2:03 1/5. In the upcoming 6th race, scratch the 6, Splash Dragon.
Now that brings us to our 6th race. There are 3-year-old pacing colts and gelding. This is the 2nd division. And in memory of James Spearman. We have 5 in it. The skiss has been scratched. We shall return after these few messages.
Own a little and love it a lot. TheStable.ca is an award-winning fractional ownership operation. Buy as little as 1% of a racehorse and experience 100% of the thrill. TheStable.ca makes ownership easy, accessible, and affordable. Communication and customer service are at the heart of everything we do. Get started at TheStable.ca.
The future is bright in Ohio. Ohio Sire Stakes, Buckeye Stallion Series, 66 county and independent fairs. Whether it's the Ohio Sire Stakes, the Buckeye Stallion Series, or the county fairs, Ohio has a place for your racehorse. This year, Ohio breds are racing for nearly $23 million in stakes purses. Be part of the winning. Breed, buy, race, win in Ohio.
Volstead, Coach K. Hanover, Slade, Ohio's top trotters stand at Dublin Valley Farms. Volstead's offspring include Sugar Instead, the 2023 Ohio 2-year-old Trotting Filly of the Year, and 2024 Ohio Sire Stakes winner Jurassic Hattie. Coach K. Hanover, the son of world record holder Walner, and Slade, the son of Chapter 7, standing his first season at Dublin Valley Farms.
We have hit our halfway mark for our early card at Mount Vernon, Knox County Fair. Headed into the 6th race of 11, the Colts are currently on tap. Tom Pye, what do you think?
What? What?
Well, we are going into our second division of 3-year-old Colt Pacers with a purse of $4,054. We had a field of 6. It has been scratched down to a field of 5.
Everyone gets a check.
Everyone does get a check. That's also not a bad day.
No, good day. We're going to take a nice trip out to the country. I'm going to start with number 1 is Drinking My Baby Goodbye. And this is a nice Big Bad John gelding out of Liz Mara. Liz Mara's Lady by Liz Mara. All right. It's owned by Daniel Hale and trained by Daniel Hale. Chris Presley in the sulky at Hilliard just on the 15th. Very impressive winner in 157.1. In fact, this was the very first mile at Hilliard in over a year. And pow, they went 57.1, which is a testament to having the track ready for the races that year. This colt has gelding has 5 starts, 2 wins, and 1/3. 10,580 starts. That's 43,000, over 43,000 lifetime. And Drinking My Baby Goodbye, Chris Presley. Number 2 is
Dragging My Peanuts. Rocky Ward will drive and train the gelding out of Fear the Dragon. Did not start as a 2-year-old. So as a 3-year-old, we have 6 starts. Lifetime, of course, no wins yet. So we are still looking to get that figured out. And that will wrap up our second post position.
number 3 is Big Risk Sonny. 3-year-old gelding by Big Risk out of Canback Jewel. Son by Liz Mara. There's a second Liz Mara. And owned by E. Diane Baker of Connellsville. Derek Wataker trains and drives. 5 starts, 1 win, 1/3. Market Circleville back in June of 59.4, which is an excellent time. Has only had 1 start, and that was at Wellston. Finished 3rd and 2 since the win in June. So Big Risk Sonny, number 3. And number 4 is
Dragon Story. Betty Clegg trains. Tim Johnson will be behind the lines. Another Fear the Dragon gelding has had 5 starts this year. Still looking for that first win as well. Has made $17,000 lifetime though.
Number 5 is Somewhere Up. And this is a 3-year-old gelding by Lather Up out of Somewhere Sunny by Some Beach Somewhere. Betty Joe owns. Betty Joe Clegg trains. Nick Clegg in the sulky. Hasn't had a win this year. Already has 19 starts. Made $12,000. Has 2 seconds and 4/3. Lifetime, $46,000. Mark of 155 at Scioto. This year, just last week at Bucyrus, went in 2-1-1. Somewhere Up. Nick Clegg. Number 6 has been scratched. So everyone gets a check in this field. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm looking at an overlay here. Currently at 1-9. Drinking My Baby Goodbye.
And so I did want to mention, I don't think you did. So 2 starts back, this horse was on Ohio Sire Stakes.
Yeah.
And I say, and he did still pace a mile in 151.1. It was not in the money, but keep in mind, my Ohio followers, that was the winner of the mile. Went in 150. 150.2. It was Clever Cody.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this horse can go. This horse can pace. That there is no doubt behind that.
And
so at 1-9, I can see why.
Deservedly to be 1-9. There they are. I think. But yeah, it's again every course for every horse. But Drinking My Baby is a competition that is just going. When you go in pacing 151.1 and you don't even get a check, it's getting beat 4 lengths and going to 150. That was a sight of Clever Cody. A great mile that is. Twice. And at he did win the non-winners of parimutuel in 53 and 2, but then he moved up to the Buckeye, the Ohio Sire Stakes, and couldn't get a check, but still has 43,000 on his card lifetime, which is second to his other somewhere up, lather up. He got 46,000, almost 47,000 with the mark of 55. The Cleggs, they don't keep them for pets, they race them. Of course, a few people we know, I, myself included, sort of like keep their horses as pets, but you get used to them, you like them, and as Ashley said, the Mr. Levesque, what was the horse's name?
His name was Slick Levesque, ours that we had.
Slick.
He was a relatively good 2-year-old, but here comes, I'm sure, here comes Roger with our post parade.
Race, home talent cold stake, 3-year-old Colton gelding pace, $4,054 in memory of James Spearman. Number 1, Drinking My Baby Goodbye, Chris Presley. Number 2, Dragging My Peanuts with Rocky Ward. The 3, Big Wrist Sunny, Derek Wadiker. Number 4, Dragon Story, Tim Johnson. Number 5, Somewhere Up, Nick Clegg in the sulky. The 6 is scratched.
All right, we will move behind the gate shortly for our 6th race. Again, there are 11 total in our early card. If you have the time and you like listening to, well, myself, I guess, because I will be hosting the late card here at 6 p.m. So feel free to always come back.
I am going to make that journey back to beautiful Bounty for Cyrus, and I have to feed Roman. But
Your pet? Is that your pet?
My
Yeah,
pet.
we were just talking about.
It was funny, years ago, filly, good filly, very consistent, but they described her. She was awarded the 3-year-old pacing filly of the year. And the owner described her as a wonderful, she's a family pet, really. And I just gritted my teeth. I says, well, the pet tries to bite and kick me every morning. She's out of but the 11-year-old kid absolutely loved her and said, "Oh, she's." They call her a pet, but they do. You get attached to them.
Oh yeah, I mean it is hard not to.
Yeah, you have to. It is like anything.
I grew up with riding horses and race horses, of course, and there was such a line with my family. I was taught at a young age of like riding horses; those can be pets, and I had my fair share of success with one of them that's still in my field and retired. But our race horses, you know, realistically, my dad always said, you have to sell a racehorse when they're good, because then no one wants them. So.
Except you.
We definitely have we definitely have our staples in the barn though.
Yeah.
Rose Run Ulysses, if anybody follows kind of our southern Ohio circuit, Big Red, that is my mom's, that he'll never leave. He's been off for a handful of months hoping to come back to Dayton Raceway and start the winter season, but he will never leave. I'm sure somebody could offer her $1 million. Not that he's worth that, but he'll never leave.
Let's say I hook again. We're talking. The one guy had a mare, and he says, "My wife, I was offered at the Spire, and as soon as I mentioned that, he says, my wife, she says, started sniveling, and the tears just went halfway down her cheek. He says, but they offered us $25,000, and with that." The tears she drew the tears right back into her eyes. 25,000. But yeah. 6th race, 3-year-old pacing colts and geldings, Drinking My Baby Goodbye, 1-9. And we'll give it a toast to the Drinking My Baby Goodbye, because he definitely looks like, with that mile 151.
And then they are headed to the starter.
Mike Webkenberg. That's 5 times I mentioned you today. Keep track of that.
And here we go. We are scratched down to a field of 5 for the 6-race second division of that 3-year-old Colt Pacers.
Three-year-old Colton Gelding paces in behind the Wupkenberg gate. The gate swings into the stretch, and here they come. They're off and pacing that Drinking My Baby Goodbye. Fast out of the gate. Getting away second is Big Risk Sonny. Into the turn. Dragging My Peanuts up on the outside. Big Risk Sonny racing on the inside. Somewhere up as they race to the backside and going to the first quarter mark. On top, Drinking My Baby Goodbye has the lead by 8 lengths. Racing second is Big Risk Sonny. Third is Dragging My Peanuts. Racing fourth is Somewhere Up. Dragon Story trails the field, all in straight alignment, past the quarter in 29 flat. Into the turn, going to the 3/8 mark. Drinking My Baby Goodbye has the lead by 10. Big Risk Sonny is there second. Dragging My Peanuts third. Into the lane first time, coming to the halfway point. Somewhere Up, racing fourth. Dragon Story trails. Somewhere Up's out and moving on the outside. Halfway home. 58 flat, identical 29-second panels as they race around the turn. Drinking My Baby Goodbye now leads by 15 and wanting more. Racing second is Big Risk Sonny. Third on the inside, Dragging My Peanuts. On the outside, Somewhere Up. Treading the field, Dragon Story. They're by the 3/4, or at least Drinking My Baby Goodbye went by the 3/4. Racing second is Big Sonny. As they race into the turn, 3/4, 129. Midway around the final turn, Drinking My Baby Goodbye now by 20. And opening up with each and every stride. Big Risk Sonny is here second. Dragging My Peanuts third. Chris Presley looked over his shoulder and couldn't see nothing but the Mutual building. It's Drinking My Baby Goodbye. Big Risk Sonny, Dragging My Peanuts. The mile, 1:57.
Ashley Daly with that
Wow.
last quarter and 28 seconds flat, unofficial.
I say unofficial, but I have that equally in our track record.
Unofficially.
Unofficially.
And was well under wraps. Well, won't say under wraps.
Oh
but
yeah, that was a training mile. That was a
that's
training mile.
a very impressive trial, though. That is what they call a seller's trainer. You can sell that horse after that training mile. That is excellent. Now they happened 58, come home in 59. Come last quarter, 28 flat. When he went by here at the half, he had a full fist of lines.
He did, and I say Chris Presley definitely had his hands full. He was not gunning for that track record, but I think he equaled it anyway.
Fastest mile ever.
I do unofficially have them across the finish line in 1:32. Oh wait, that was the wrong race. Was it? There we go. There, I do have them across the finish line in unofficial 1:32.
Just for you. Definitely went off 1-9 and definitely deserved it. Chris Presley in the sulking.
He is going to make his way back in front of that grandstand.
He's owned and trained and bred by Daniel H. Hale, the pride of Utica, Ohio.
Gelding pace. Number 1, Drinking My Baby Goodbye. Daniel Hale of Utica, Ohio, owns and trains Chris Presley in the sulky. 3-year-old gelding, but Big Bad John, Liz Morris Lady. Home a winner in 1:57. Final half in 59. Final quarter, 29 seconds. Blanket in memory of James Spearman. to Daniel Hale, Chris Presley, Drinking My Baby Goodbye for 2 in a row in Ohio.
A noisy, boisterous crowd down there. Excellent 157, unofficial, but we'll get the official word right now. And that eclipse, a total eclipse of my track pacing record of
Say
Mr.
Roger has not announced that, but we do have it in the Hubs Guide and in my records that does equal. And that track record has not been equaled. There we go.
One, Drinking My Baby Goodbye, the winner. The 2, Dragging My Peanuts, 3. The 3, Big Wrist Sunny, 2. The 4, Dragon Story, 5. The 5, Somewhere Up, 4. The 6 was scratched. Top down, 1, 3, 2, 5, 4. Bottom horse was scratched. The quarter, 29. The half, 58. 3/4, 128. The mile, 157. And that's another winner from Utica, Ohio, the home of Daniel Hale.
We really have such a nice crowd, and they're so interactive here in the grandstand today. It's been fantastic. Just makes the racing that much better.
And they had a good crowd in the winner's circle there. They're all back there. They're ordering their pictures from Annette Adams McLaughlin, and her brother Bob. They run winners' photos, and they do a lot of the Southern Valley colt circuits.
Well, we are ready to head in next to our 7th race. We will introduce you to that field shortly. We're going to take a very quick break.
At Ohio State's Galbraith Equine Center, our veterinary champions are here for your champions 24/7, 365 days a year. Our expert team of boarded surgeons, sports medicine and rehabilitation specialists, together with veterinary cardiologists, internal medicine, and ophthalmologists, make our hospital your best resource for all sport horse performance issues. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center's Galbraith Equine Hospital. Call us today at 614-292-6661. When you need supplies for your horse, one name stands out: Big D's. Since 1976, Big D's Tack and Vet Supply has been the equine experts you can trust. Whatever your horse needs is available at Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Visit the retail outlet in Streetsboro, Ohio, or order online at bigdweb.com for fast shipping. Most orders ship that day. Or call 1-800-321-2142. Big D's Tack and Vet Supply.
Cool Winds Farm in Lima, Ohio is a full-service standardbred breeding farm. Cool Winds stands the popular Dancing Yankee, a 2-time world champion, along with 2019 jug winner Southwind Ozzy, the son of Some Beach Somewhere. Cool Winds also stands the royally bred $2 million earning Western Fame. Be sure to inspect the Cool Winds yearlings at the Ohio Selected Jug Sale at Pickaway on Friday, September 13th.
We are back. And it's amazing when you're talking about the jug sale, the jug. It's getting close. We just have August, September.
It happens so quick every year.
Less than 2 months away. I believe, yes, that's 2 months away. Wait a minute, what year is this again?
Ask me tomorrow, I don't know.
But yeah, great racing, fantastic, great miles. You just witnessed the fastest mile ever here at Mount Vernon, Ohio. We tied it, but as again, if he had somebody right on his wheel, he could have gone in 56 in a piece, maybe 55 in a piece.
And that track record was made 2012. It has not been touched for 12 years. So it was due. It was due, especially with the way that our breed is ever evolving. But saying that, we are headed now into the 7th race. We are in the 2nd division of the 2-year-old Colt Pacers, a purse of $6,200.
And these are the horses and their drivers. Number 1 is Peanut Fear, a Fear the Dragon 2-year-old gelding out of Peanut Better Shake by Better's Delight. Owned and trained by Betty Clegg. Breeders with Springhaven Farm. He was a Ohio Select Yearling Sale of $12,000. Driven by Nick Clegg. No wins in 6 starts, 2 seconds. Has been timed. His best mile was back in Paulding. The first start of the year got beat a nose in 2-3. Last week at Bucyrus, cut the mile, faded to 4th, paced the mile in 2-4. Number 1 is Peanut Fear with Logan Ebersol, excuse me, isn't Nick Clegg, Logan Ebersol in the sulky. Number 2.
We have Down by the Parade, Down by the Seaside gelding, another Clegg horse. So Betty will train and own. Nick will sit behind this one. This is an $8,000 purchase from the Ohio Select, and a pretty good purchase at that. This horse has 7 starts on the year, 5 of them wins, and has hit the board, a total of all 7 starts, has made almost $48,000. Last start out was 3rd, but just a few start backs was 2nd in the $150,000 Next Generation. One that hit Scioto on July 6th and did end up 2nd in 153-2. So another one that we know can pace and get the job done.
And he was such a favorite that they last week at Bucyrus, they barred him from betting. And he finished 3rd. And if people don't know familiar with barred from betting, it's just like pretend the horse is not in the race.
Right, and I do believe Roger announced when we were on a commercial break that he is barred from here as well.
Here again?
Yes, we'll double check that, but I do believe he is barred. But regardless.
I thought he'd be a good bet today.
You might not make much money, but.
Number 3 is Fear Giver. He's a Fear the Dragon gelding. Out of Sugar Coated by the Panda Rosa. Wes Hirschberger trains for Eric Hirschberger. Darren Harvey in the sulky. 1 start this year. Best time was at Northfield as qualifier in 2:02.3. Last week, first time in front of the grandstand. He won a mile in 2:10.3. Number 3, Fear Giver. Number 4 is
Cool Augustus. This is a first-time starter. A 2-year-old colt by Mr. Cooley. Amy Wingard trains and owns. Drew Neal will be in the bike. Again, first-time starter, so let's see what this colt can do.
This is the first time in front of the grands for the colt. The number 5 is So Artistic, and he is driven by Derek Wadika, trained by Samuel Clark. He owns a 2-year-old gelding by Art Director at a preposterous. I should certainly say so. By Soho, and this is a 2nd start. Wilson last week he was 5th and went in 2:09.4. So this is his 2nd start in front of an audience. Number 6 is.
We have trained and driven by Amon Hirschberger. This is Something to Crow About. Another first-time starter, so not sure what we're going to bring to the track today, but this is a gelding by Bring on the Beach. And there is our field of 6 for the 7th. That will fill out the entire track for us because, once again, we do score 6 wide here.
So that's Something to Crow About, Amon Hirschberger. Bring on the Beach. Of course, this is first time in front of the crowd. So, again, young horses like this, as we said, they see everything for the first time. They don't know what it is.
And that's why we're here. We got to start somewhere, right? And this
Right.
is a great place to do it. Our Ohio County fairs, any fair, is such a place to teach a horse how to be a racehorse.
And they get used to things. Once they see something, they get used to it. Then it becomes old hat to them. Sometimes, I'm not saying all the times.
This will be the 2nd division. Our 1st division went in 2:08. So that is the time we are gunning for.
They have a trophy to the fastest time. 2:08, and I can say without, I will not say, they went, how fast did they go in the first division? 208?
208.
Oh, that was come the last.
We had quite a slow start to that race, but a pretty decent finish. That was I believe our very third race, if you have been tuning in this entire time with Tom Pye and myself.
Well, we might as well give you a rundown. Our first race was a dead heat between Super James
and here comes our post parade.
Presenting the blanket. The one is Peanut Fear with Logan Eversole. Number 2, Down by the Parade, Nick Clegg. Number 3, Fear Giver, Darren Harvey. Number 4, Cool Augustus. Make the driver, Drew Neal. Number 5, So Artistic, the driver Derek Wadiker. And number 6, Something to Crow About, Ammon Hirschberger in the sulky. Horse will take one score and go to the gate.
Field of 6, and it did look, as we were post parading, Drew Neal had his hands full a little bit with our first time starter, Cool Augustus. Can't blame him. There's a lot going on today. There is a big crowd. It's a little windy, so there's lots of things moving, flags and everything else.
Well, it's again, even if you get an old horse and they're kind of foolish, I always say, they'll act up, but they're not used to being any place if it's new for them. If there's something, in fact, just the other day, they had a booth or a wagon in the middle of the infield. A horse had been going by there almost every day for 2 years, saw that for the first time, and he took a fit. It all depends what they see.
Oh, it does. It definitely does. My family trains at Champaign County, and we were getting ready for our matinee. And of course, they moved the judges' stand in the infield, and I mean, our old horses were taking me into the grandstand and everything else. So absolutely, it's not just a baby thing, but of course, you just got to live and learn. You got to see it and get through it.
And a lot of times, that's why when you get behind the horse, it doesn't matter how old they are or what. You always got to keep attentive. You got to. I always say, compared to jogging a horse, is like fishing in a canoe. You're on a nice, calm water, and you just don't want the canoe to tip over. You got to keep an eye on things. But that's my fishing story, by the way.
You've got horse stories, you've got fishing stories, you've got people stories.
Oh, yeah, just another one of my stories. I haven't used the adage anymore. I don't just say, and I don't say when I was a boy, because that's when I was a boy. I used to walk 12 miles to have to place a bet.
Uphill both ways?
Both ways. In the snow. Knee deep in the snow.
All right, looks like we are still slowly going to round them up for this 7th. So something that Tom and I were talking about earlier. So I just came back full-time at OHHA, but Tom was the very first person I ever broadcast with. And
that's
was
why
it.
she left for so long.
Exactly.
No. And yes,
No.
And that was at Hilliard.
It was.
3 years.
To the day. It was 3 years ago to the day. So what a full circle
moment.
moment.
What can I say? I'm going to break into song. So here we are again. It must be fate.
Tom, you were something else. But yeah, I guess start to a career I didn't know I wanted, truly. At the time, they kind of just placed me in it, and here I am. And so
it's always the lure of the horses, always bring you back. Everybody. There is not a better animal on the earth.
Truly not. Yep.
Say. Except maybe, no, I don't know. There isn't. I mean, they're so loyal, and you get a horse, it's an experience. And again, you could get 1% of a horse. You get one of those partial owner stables. But it's a
good way to
great
get into
experience.
it. Yes, absolutely.
Great experience. They're moving in by the gate. The gate moves to the head of the lane, And here's Roger Houston for the call of the 7th race.
In behind the gate. The gate swings into the stretch, and here they come. They're off and pacing down by the parade. Goes right out for the lead. Peanut Fear gets away second. Settling in third is Fear Giver. Around the turn, Something to Crow About fourth. Racing fifth, So Artistic, and trailing the field, Cool Augustus. Racing to the backside in the first quarter mark. The horse is barred from the wagering. Down by the parade has the lead by a length and a half. Peanut Fear second. Fear Giver is third. Something to Crow About pacing fourth. Racing fifth, So Artistic, and Cool Augustus trails the field. Opening quarter 31-4. Down by the parade, opens up by 4 lengths on Peanut Fear second. Racing third is Fear Giver. Fourth, Something to Crow About. Into the lane first time, So Artistic is fifth. And the trailer, Cool Augustus. Drew Neal can see them all coming to the halfway point. It's down by the parade by 4. Racing second is Peanut Fear. Third is Fear Giver. Halfway home in 101-3. Second panel 29-4. On to the backside, a rough-gated Peanut Fear is there second. Racing third to the outside is Fear Giver. Racing fourth, Something to Crow About. Off stride, So Artistic. Up the inside, Cool Augustus. Going to the 3-quarter mark. Down by the parade has the lead. On the outside, Fear Giver now second. Third is Peanut Fear. At the 3 quarters in 131-2. Another panel, 29-4. Down by the parade by 12. Racing second is Fear Giver. Into the lane, racing third. Coming home, it's all down by the parade. The horse that's barred from the wagering, so it's for the mutual wagering. On the outside, it's Fear Giver. Fear Giver, Something to Crow About.
Hold on your tickets. Hold on to your hats. Now, it definitely was down by the parade. And the 3 was second. Fear Giver. Actually, so the 3 will be declared the winner. But there's a photo for third and a little hippity hop to the barber shop.
Yeah, we did. It was our one horse, right, was making a break as he crossed the finish line, so I'm sure he will be placed back.
Yeah, well, unofficially.
Unofficially, yes, of course.
Yes.
And I did not catch our time to the 3 quarters pole. Did you catch it?
I think it was 131-2.
We'll get it from Roger as we wait for our official mile time anyway.
Because a lot of times we got to go. They have 3 different clockers up there. Make sure they get the correct time. They don't have any. At the major tracks, they have electronic timers. But at the fair tracks, they have 3 different people with watches, stopwatches. Some people have a stopwatch. Some people have their iPhone.
Mutuals 3-1-6. Unofficial mutuals 3-1-6. Backing from the stands, the horse that was barred from the wagering. Number 2, down by the parade. Owned by Betty Jo Clegg of Northfield. Betty Clegg, the winningest trainer at the county fairs this season. Nick Clegg in the sulky. 2-year-old gelding by down by the seaside at a Gracie's Parade. Home a winner in 2 minutes, 1 second. 2:01. The final quarter, 29-3. Presented by Hagerman Racing. Down by the parade, Betty Clegg Nick Clegg in the sulky.
Here's Betty Clegg. Is that her first trip to the winner's circle? Yes, it is.
Today it is. Yes, today it is.
And she had, how many total she had in today was just a, Betty Clegg had 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. She had 12 horses in today. No wonder she hasn't been down the winner's circle. And it's, again, if you have one horse, and I can go back years ago when you had one horse on the road, you can leisurely sit by your stall, go down the winner's circle, and, just had a nice time. Now, with today, there's 12 horses she has in today. And you don't even have a chance to smile. That's about it.
I wonder how many trailers they brought.
I know they
You know,
have.
there's so people who don't train, don't drive, and may not travel all over to racehorses. All the logistics that go into this game as well.
And you have to have your horses equipped and harnessed before you load them on the trailer because you don't have any time
to warm them up. Yeah, I know. There's a lot of all hands on deck that happen around these county fairs, especially with trainers that are bringing multiples.
And as again, we talked about, Betty Clegg has a dozen in here today. Also, Rosie Weaver, she has an easy day. She only has 5 in. And it is from back to back. Again, you don't have even a chance to smile. Of course, you do smile when you win.
When you make it to the winner's circle, it's
you just say, well, okay,
a little bit
okay.
easier.
But it is after, if the day's racing, you just, whew, and in fact, I remember one time we raced 6 one day, and I had not green help, but the first time they did multiple, and I was like the straw boss. Come on, move it. We don't have any time. Forget that. Let's get going. But it's fun. You're under a drive, but it's no business like. There's no business like horse business. Okay, go. We're going to get the rundown. They haven't.
So we have not gone official yet.
Nope.
Have not gone official, and I'm sure that's because we had that breaker as we crossed the finish line. So I'm sure they may be
made a bobble. That's what we'll say, just a bobble. Yeah, down by the parade last week when he finished 3rd. I say, and of course the one Peanut Fear was 1-9 that we came here, and he finished 3rd or 2nd. Unofficial was 3-1-6. The tight photo finish. The judges deciding exactly what's going on. I might as well take out, if you folks are just tuning in, I hope not. We are on the 7th race. We're moving up. We're waiting for the final rundown. Coming up to the 8th of 12 today, 11 today. Whoop.
The 8th.
Eight of 12 today, or 11. One exciting day, Ashley Daly. We've had dead heat.
We have had some couple close finishes. There really
two
have
noses. I know they've tight photo finishes. Got a couple of upsets. This is an upset. We got the 1-9. You had the horse that was barred. You couldn't bet him, so the 1 becomes a 1-9. But the 6 win it at 6-1. Now they argue. Are they arguing up behind us about the? No. Are they going They're going Anze, Tuatze, Quato. They're going drawing the Cinque.
And so as we wait for that final rundown, this was the 2nd division. The 1st division went in 2:08. So this one did go Quite
This-
a bit faster.
Definitely the Cleggs will get a trophy on this. Quick rundown of the first race, which as it was started, it was a dead heat between number 4 Super James and Mr. WWC. They went 2, 2, and 3. Second race, which was the 2-year-old, 3-year-old pacing Colts and Geldings. They were winner was number 1 Cruiser with Class Charles Neff, 2 minutes and 4/5. Number 3, 2-year-old pacing Colts and Geldings, first division, went down by.
3 is the winner. 1 and 6 dead heat for place. In mutuals, 3 is the winner. 1 and 6 dead heat for place. Now here is the top down, including the barred horse. Number 1, Peanut Fear, 3 dead heat. Number 2, Down by the Parade, the winner. The 3, Fear Giver, 2. The 4, Cool Augustus, 5. The 5, So Artistic, 6. The 6, Something to Crow About, 3 dead heat. Top down, 3 dead heat. 1, 2, 5, 6, 3 dead heat on the bottom. The quarter, 31 and 4. The half, 101.3. 3 quarters, 131.2. The mile, 2:01.
All right, so there is our rundown from race 7. Down by the Parade gets the win in 2:01 flat. With that, Roger has already been calling our 8th race out. So next we're going to head into our second division of the 2-year-old Colt Trotters. But first, we are going to take a quick break and catch you back here shortly. The Knox County Fairgrounds in Mount Vernon, Ohio, has been a popular place since 1895. The grounds were originally home to an amusement resort known as Lake Hiawatha Park. Guests would arrive at the front gates on a state-of-the-art electric trolley. The lake retreat was complete with a billiard and dance hall, theaters, restaurants, and a zoo. By the mid-20th century, the park fell out of fashion. The land would become home to the Knox County Fair. The fair dates back further than its establishment at Lake Hiawatha Park. Local township farmer clubs held gatherings as early as the 1840s. Those clubs would soon form the Knox County Agricultural Society and host the first county-wide fair. For several years, the fair moved from location to location. Grains, fruit, and livestock were exhibited for a single day at the town courthouse, in churches, or even the jailhouse property. The fair would outgrow all of these spaces and demand a permanent place to call home. In 1894, the fair made its move to Lake Hiawatha Park. One of the biggest advantages of the park was its racetrack. Automobile and horse racing were popular during this time. The county fair took advantage, hosting pacers and trotters annually.
History, tradition. For over 100 years, 2- and 3-year-old trotters and pacers have started their careers on the tracks of the Home Talent Colt Stakes. See the future stars of Ohio harness racing at one of the Home Talent's 15 tracks. The stars of tomorrow are racing at a track near you today. The Home Talent Colt Stakes. You can't win them if you aren't in them.
We're back. We're just in time for the 8th race here at Mount Vernon at the Knox County Fair in Ohio. This is the 2-year-old Colts and Geldings second division. We're going for a purse of $6,460. Ashley Daly, we have 6.
We do have 6, and it looks like we are going to roll right into a post parade. So we will wait just a moment for Roger to run through, and then we will say our piece right after.
moving. Here
Back
they
and
are.
bring the post for the 8th race. Home Talent Colt Stakes, 2-year-old Colton Gelding Trot. Purse of $6,460. Second division in memory of Eldon Spearman. Number 1, Charvel. The driver, Chris Hirschberger. Number 2, Pink Panther, Nick Clegg. Number 3, Mr. Joyner, Charlie Myrick. Number 4, Just Like Tom, Brian J. Miller. Number 5, Spin the Prize, Drew Neal. And number 6, 45 MAGA, driver Jason Thompson.
All right, so here is our field of 6 for race 8. Again, if you would like to, please head on over to harnessracingohio.com and take a look at the program as we go along. So 6 horses off the rail. We have Charvel, Darren Harvey will train. Chris Hirschberger will get that drive. Only has 1 start under his belt, and that came just a little bit ago at Bucyrus and did make a break, so looking to stay flat here today for the Colt. We'll go on to horse 2.
Number 2. Dun, 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 dun. It's Pink Panther by 2-year-old gelding by Marseille. Out of Call Me Pinkalicious by Dorado Hanover. It's a Betty Jo Clegg owned and trained. Nick Clegg is in the sulky. 6 starts, 8 wins, 6 wins. 8 wins and 6 starts. Got a mark 59-1 at the qualifier at Scioto. Pink Panther has been barred from the wagering because last week, except for the make a break at Northfield, she has 6 out of 8 starts. This is a nice little trotter. This is one to watch. This is one of the future stars of tomorrow that we see today. Number 3.
We have Mr. Joyner in our 3rd post position. Charlie Myrick trains and drives. 2 starts on the year. Another one that is a trotter that has been doing trotter things. So looking to stay flat and learn a little bit today.
It's like doing the young trotter thing.
Yes.
That's exactly.
Yes. And it is a gelding out of Long Tom.
And isn't this another Long Tom? Isn't this just like Tom? It is just like Tom. Brian J. Miller is trainer for Robert Klein of Millersburg. And Brian is the driver. 1 start, no wins, no seconds, no thirds. Did pick up a check, though, which was at Cortland, finished 4th in 2:12-1. Has been timed in 2:4-2 at Scioto in a 2-year-old qualifier. So number 4 is Just Like Tom, and number 5 is
Spend the Prize, another duo. Drew Neal is back in the bike for Rosie Weaver as a 2-year-old gelding by Enterprise. 1 start on the year at Oak Harbor just a handful of days ago and was 2nd.
just got beat by a length and a half. Drew is the second favorite. The favorite is number 6, 45 MAGA, coming off a mile in 2:12-1 at Carrollton. Last quarter 30-4, just win by a neck. That was his second lifetime start. Does have a show breaks on his first, but Scott Cox drives for the gelding for Alan Miller of Millersburg. Marseille is the sire he's out of One Too Many by Man of Many Missions. Jason Thompson is in the sulky. Those are the 6 horses here in the 8th race, 8 out of 11. Ash Daly, we counting down the day.
Well, there is a light at the end of the tunnel for the early card.
Yes.
We are going to start heading towards the back end of the card.
Well, Ashley's going to be doing this evening's broadcast. Who's going to be your co-host?
Trish Soulsby. Trish, it'll be our first time working together, so please head on back here. You can watch it on Facebook. You can watch it on YouTube. Our late card here at Knox County and Mount Vernon will begin at 6 p.m.
I can guarantee you one thing. She won't be as wrong as I am. I hold the track.
I know. How am I going to keep score, Tom, if we're not working together? And this, going into race 8, this is our second division of our 2-year-old colt trotters. Our first division went in 206 and 4, and that was taken by Nabahai.
That was coming from Zubin. I think Pink Panther, the one who's barred from the wagering, and number 6 is now 1-5. The rest are 99-9 to 1. The 5 is 7-5. Pink Panther, nice gaited trotter, is again 6 wins and 8 starts, but does make a break occasionally. As again, it does the young trotter thing.
Looks like we are going to start moving into position.
Who's the starter out there, Kim Daly?
Kim Daly.
Huh? Well, Kim.
Yes.
I knew I'd get it right. Ashley Daly. I'd get it after a while. Kim, that's Mom.
Good enough. Close enough. Whatever.
Close
I
enough.
knew what you
She
meant.
related to you. Ashley Daly. I knew I'd get it out there. Kim Daly. Hi, Kim. I know you're listening.
And there is Mike Webgenberg going to get us started. We'll send it up to Roger.
2-year-old trotters are all in behind the gate. The gate swings into the stretch, and here they come. They're off and trotting. That Spin the Prize goes right out for the lead. Charvel gets away second. 45 Mega gets away third. Racing for the end of the turn. Mr. Joyner goes off stride. Up on the outside as they race around the turn. Pink Panther on the inside, just like Tom. Down the backside they go. Spin the Prize leads by a length and a quarter. Charvel is there second. 45 Mega third. Racing fourth. Closing the gap, it's Pink Panther, and Nick Clay goes right to the outside. Now fourth, now third. Moving up on the leaders. Around the turn, just like Tom, fifth. Trailing the field, Mr. Joyner. Off stride again, Pink Panther. Into the lane first time, coming to the half, off a quarter in 33 and 2. On top of the field and showing the way, Spin the Prize and Drew Neal. Right there, second is Charvel with Chris Hirschberger. Gapped out third, 45 Mega, Jason Thompson. On the outside, Pink Panther fourth, just like Tom fifth. Trailing the field, Mr. Joyner. Over to the half, 104. 4/5. On to the backside they go. The leader remains. Spin the Prize by a length and a quarter. Off stride goes Charvel. Up on the outside, 45 Mega now second. Pink Panther closing on the outside third at the 3/4 mark. 3/4, 136 and 2. Into the final turn. Spin the Prize with the lead. 45 Mega closing on the outside second. Off stride Charvel. Pink Panther is fourth. Just like Tom, fifth. Less than an 8 to go in Ohio. It's Spin the Prize with the lead. 45 Mega on the outside second. Coming to the wire. Spin the Prize. 45 Mega. Charvel.
He flipped off the judges. Huh? Yo. Okay, we're back. We're back at the Mount Vernon at the Knox County Fair. Looks like 5-6-1. We got the 3/4 of 136 and 2.
So we are still waiting on that official mile time, but Spin the Prize. Drew Neal gets it done for Rosie Weaver. Second lifetime start will be our first win.
Well, we got Spin the Prize definitely took the lead and kept him there. Trotted just like he was, 1-5 is the final odds. Got a nice crowd down there in the winner's circle.
Hands and go into the winner's circle. Number 5, Spin the Prize. Heartland Acres of Ohio. Rosie Weaver, Beach City, Ohio. Rosie Weaver, the winning trainer. Drew Neal in the sulky. 2-year-old gelding by Enterprise at a Spend It In. A lifetime mark, 207 3/5. Blanket in memory of Eldon Spearman. Rosie Weaver, Drew Neal, Spin the Prize.
See, every time we see Rosie Weaver, she has colors on. She can be dressed up.
I know, I was about to
you know?
say.
So I don't recognize her right away. But the old dog. What's the old dog's name? We don't know. I know Matt probably does, but he doesn't have his microphone on. I got unofficial 5-6-1, just for fun.
And we do have a question from Dennis hopping on the Facebook super quick. Oh, let's hear the official results.
3, the 2, Pink Panther, 4, the 3, Mr. Joyner, 6, the 4, Just Like Tom, 5, the 5, Spin the Prize, the winner, the 6, 45 Mega, 2, Top Down, 3, 4, 6, 5, 1, 2 on the bottom, the quarter 33 and 2, the half 104 4, 3/4 136 2, the mile 207 3/5. In the 9th race, scratch the 6, Niall Hanover. Number 6, Niall Hanover, scratched in race 9.
All right, well, to finish my thought, so Dennis had a question, what is our track record here for trot and pace? So our all-age trot is 158 flat, set in 2021 by Dance with Somebody. And then we also had our pace equal today, but that pace record was set in 2012 and 157 by Mr. I Am, and it was equal today, let me flip back here, by Drinking My Baby Goodbye in the 6th race. That's 157 flat. But to close out our 8th race, there you go. We had our official 5-6-1-5. Spin the Prize. Another win for trainer Rosie Weaver. We are going to head next into our 9th race, our free-for-all, going for a purse of $1,000 for this group of 8 that will go behind the gate. We will see you back here shortly.
Do you want your horse to shine in the winner's circle? Feed DAC oil. It makes a world of difference.
For over 50 years, Midland Acres has provided top-quality Ohio-bred colts and fillies. As a third-generation farm, we understand the importance of delivering well-cared-for and well-mannered yearlings. Get in the winner's circle with the yearlings by Fear the Dragon, Yankee Cruiser, Long Tom, Summa Cum Laude, Ready for Money, and Bit of a Legend. See our yearlings at the Blooded Horse Sale August 27th and the Ohio Select Sale September 13th.
We are back. We have the free-for-all Ashley Daly, Miss Ashley Daly, and great card. As a 6 has been scratched.
Yes, you are right.
And we've got a scratch in here, and this looks like, as we have a track record, here's a horse, let's go down there. Rockin' Reggie. He's a 5-year-old gelding by Pet Rock, got a southern accent by Well Said. It's a mark at Northville of 157 and 2. It's a half-mile track, no longer in existence in Michigan, but this shows that Scioto pacing in 52-2 just on the 20th of June. This Elizabeth Tolley trained for Michael Pappas of Brownstown, Michigan. Charles Smith, his junior, is in the sulky. Rockin' Reggie, number 1. Number 2 is...
We have Filet Mignon. Herman Hagerman will train. Emmanuel Miller will be in the sulky. This horse has had some time off, so coming from a transportation scratch, but hasn't been behind the gate since April 20th. So is coming back from a little bit of a break, so we'll see how tight, of course, this horse is. This is a 6-year-old mare by Racing Hill. Has had 118 lifetime starts, 18 of those wins. Still looking for the first win, of course, of the season. $125,000 bankrolled in her lifetime.
Yes, Emmanuel Miller in the sulky. Number 3 is Speaking Out. This 12-year-old gelding by Better's Delight. Old class horse, 276 starts, 30 wins, a mark of Yonkers in the slop of 151-2. Nice old horse. She's by Better's Delight. Out of Red Carpet Queen by Weston Hanover. Amy Wengert owns and trains. Is she driving? Yes, she's driving too. Speaking Out has been in 158-4 at Northfield. This is the class got the most wins. Oh, no, excuse me. There's another couple of class horses in here. But number 4 is...
Dirty Dreams. Mario Zito will train and drive, and also owns this 5-year-old gelding by Mr. Apples. Dirty Dreams has 19 starts on the year, 41 lifetime as only a 5-year-old, and we have 8 lifetime wins, 2 seconds, and has made $42,000. Took a mark at 4 years old at the Meadows in 153-1. Coming from a start at Bucyrus in the Signature Series, did get in the money, ended up 5th, but the previous start before that coming off of a win at the Cortland Free-for-All Pace.
Number 5 is Come On Over. Dave Tolley owns and trains. A local homeboy from Mount Vernon, Old Ohio. This 8-year-old mare by Badlands Hanover out of Odds On Whitey by Sportsmaster. She has 175 lifetime starts, 21 wins, over 109,000 earned, mark of 155-2 at Northfield. Chris Presley is in the sulky. Number 6 has been scratched. Number 7 is...
Executive Dash in. Eric Miller will be behind the lines for trainer Elizabeth Tolley. We are looking at a class horse like you have been bringing up. This is 10-year-old gelding by Well Said. Have made almost $300,000 lifetime. Took a mark at 7 years old at Northfield in 151. 197 lifetime starts. 43 of those wins. Did just recently come off a win at the Springhaven Ladies Driving Series at Oak Harbor in 2 minutes.
Good.
Lauren Harmon got that drive, but Eric Miller gets that call today. And we can go on to who's going to round out our field, horse 8.
And he can fly in. There's Betty Clegg. She has this old gelding by Better's Delight. Falcon's Flyby by Falcon Sealster. Betty Jo Clegg owns and trains. This tough old turkey has 225 lifetime starts, 53 wins, 359,000 earned. Mark of is a 7-year-old at Northfield, a 150-2 class. Nick Clegg is in the sulky. I wonder if he's a pet. Has to be at 12 years old.
12 years old.
Old class horse like this. And Woody Woodman just involved. This is part of the Home Talent Stakes graduate series. They are earning points that they will have an eventual big race. He didn't mention where, but these are, again, nice animals. The free-for-all here at Knox County.
I say we do only score 6 wide here at Mount Vernon, and we are scratched down to a field of 7. But with that, you can move down, but you cannot move
in front.
Yeah, and say in front of the starting gate. So with that, we still will have trailers. Our 7 and 8 horses will trail the starting gate.
And thinking of that, one of my first qualifying drives was a field of 5-horse scratched, and the starter looked at me, and he, like, I had the empty spot alongside of me. He nods his head like I can move in. I looked at him, I says, I'm happy here. As I put the horse's head on the gate. Going behind the gate, incidentally, I've known a lot of sports stars. They've been, in fact, one guy, he was the captain of the baseball team, captain of the football team, and was a 4-letter sports star in high school. And he said, how come, I asked him, have you driven? He says, I went in one qualifier. He says, and I was terrified. He says, it's just all the horses around there. You got 1,200 pounds of animal in front of you, and you're going 30 miles an hour.
And here we go, our post.
It's post parade.
For the 9th.
Reggie, the driver, Charles Smith Jr. Number 2, Filet Mignon, Emmanuel Miller. Number 3, Speaking Out with Amy Wingard. Number 4, Dirty Dreams, the driver, Mario Zito. Number 5, Come On Over with Chris Presley. The 6 is scratched. The 7, Executive Dash In, Eric Miller. And number 8, He Can Fly In, Nick Clegg, has been excused from the post parade, but will start.
Well, Ashley Daly, as a post parade, did I see Mario Zito? He's a qualifying fair driver, 20 years old, owns and trains this gelding by Mr. Apples. I'm trying to think. He has the Z on his shirt sleeve. The only other driver I can think of with the Z on him is Scott Zeron.
Ah.
And I'm trying to, I don't know, I'll have to look that up. But the Z, that stands for Zito. Or Zeron. Yeah, it's people say, one of the things, they going by there was 8 of us across the finish wire. And I think, we'll say 6 for sure. And I had a inexperienced driver behind me ready to climb up under my wheel. So the photo, I'm just staring down at my wheel, making sure I'll climb up on it. And one of the guys says to me, well, why didn't you smile for the camera? I just went, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's something we brought up a handful of times of how these county fairs, especially with babies, are really, they're here to teach them something.
Yep.
We're seeing a lot of things, but we didn't bring up drivers.
Exactly.
Yeah, we
this
didn't.
One of the kids from Mount Vernon, Chris Page, right?
Maybe a local name.
Yeah, Chris Page. Dick Stillings got his start here. He's in the Hall of Fame. And he won back-to-back jugs in the 80s. It's a great learning experience. You can have fun and learn and earn and have fun. But and then it's all through. Right, I know stable leader is young Justin Irvine. Okay. Now you're more their age than I am. So
that is true, I guess.
You know your contemporaries, though. Can you think of any more that are here? Off the top of your head.
You always want to, off the top of my head. It takes me a minute. You can't spring things on me like that.
Well, you don't. A lot of people, they ask your question. I never thought of that about in 40 years or something. But you don't think who's here because you're not.
Yeah.
You're from Champaign.
I am. I'm from a couple hours west.
Well, yeah, you're from the back. And I asked even people up just 50 miles away, you know this? No, they don't. And I said, well, I think, of course, we here with the OHH, we visit the 66 fairs in the year. I know I've caught 50 of them, but they do meld together after a while.
Well, I mean, harness racing in Ohio is still very vast, especially county fair racing. It's nothing like other states. Indiana, Kentucky, we have such a strong presence in grassroots specifically, and this is, how, you can't keep track. How Roger keeps track of, statistics as much as he does on top of his announcing, on top of his broadcasting, on top of all the travel is something to be said in itself.
And again, the amount of miles that can be put on, a lot of people say I'd be tired just from that. But Roger's amazing.
And I had mentioned a couple of races ago, the logistics. We talked about, just getting 12 horses here, what it takes logistics, but there are quite a lot that go on to our broadcasting as well. But we are moving into position race 9. This is our free-for-all pace. $1,000 purse. We are scratched down to a field of 7. We will have 2 trailers. And we will send it right up to Roger.
Horse approaching the starting gate. Free-for-all pacers are all in behind the gate. The gate swings into the stretch, and here they come. They're off and pacing. Filet Mignon goes for the lead. Dirty Dreams on the outside second. The end of the turn, racing third. As they race around the turn, that is He Can Fly in. Racing to the backside, fourth. From the second tier is Executive Dash In. Fifth on the outside, Come On Over, racing sixth. Rock and Reggie and trailing the field, Speaking Out. Go on to the first quarter mark. All in straight alignment as they race over to the quarter station. Reach the quarter in 31 seconds. Into the turn, going to the 3/8 mark. It's Filet Mignon and Emmanuel Miller showing the way. Right there, second is Dirty Dreams of Mario Zito. Racing third, He Can Fly and Nick Clegg. Into the lane first time, coming to the halfway point. Out moving on the outside and moving up with each and every stride comes Executive Dash In. Eric Miller, now third, now second. Moving with the cover on the outside, Come On Over, followed by Rock and Reggie. And trailing the field, the end of the turn they go. Speaking Out, halfway home in 1:01, second panel in 30 seconds flat. To the backside they go. Filet Mignon with the lead. The outside, Executive Dash In is second. Racing third, that's Dirty Dreams. You're ready to go 3 wide on the outside. Here comes Chris Presley, now fourth, now third, now second, closing with every stride with Come On Over. At the 3 quarters in 1:30, third quarter in 29 flat. Into the lane they come. On top of the field, it's Filet Mignon. Come On Over, closing on the outside, second with every stride. Come On Over on the outside, coming late. He Can Fly In. It's all Come On Over. He Can Fly In, Filet Mignon. The mile, 1:59, 3/5.
1:59 and 3/5. Unofficially, Come On Over. Chris Presley. He's had a couple of fast miles here today.
Come on over. Come on down. She is a 8-year-old mare by Badlands Hanover, out of Odds On Whitey by Sportsmaster. That's a few years back, Sportsmaster.
That was a class race. That was a class act for all of those pacers. That is for sure.
In the last half, 58 and 3. That's a good mile.
I have unofficially it going 5.824.
I think unofficially you are correct, madam. 5.824.
I think we should definitely, I want to give props to our young drivers that we were talking about. Mario, he got his horse in great position right out of the gate.
Yes. And on a half-mile track, position is, I mean, if you get 6 wide, if those scores, that's tough. You got 5 other horses in front of you.
Over. David Tolley of Mount Vernon, Ohio, the owner, trainer. Chris Presley in the sulky, his second winning drive this afternoon. The 8-year-old mare of Badlands Hanover, Odds On Whitey, home winner in 159 3/5. Final half 58-3. The final quarter 29-3. There are a number of fairs that have the free-for-all pace this year in the hometown at Colt Stakes. Those horses are qualifying for points for a $12,000 final to be held at the end of the season at Northfield Park. This is one of the qualifying rounds in the hometown and Colt Stakes. Free-for-all paces at various county fairs in the hometown and Stakes series. This division goes to Come On Over and Chris Presley.
Here we have our winner making his way in front of our grandstand.
I like that headdress.
Very sparkly and pink.
Very, that's sparkles. Does a lady proud, it does. Why, the old mare won a good mile today, 59-3.
Will make for her 22nd lifetime win.
Went off at 4-1. Here's a rundown.
Rockin' Reggie, 5. The 2, Filet Mignon, 3. The 3, Speaking Out, 7. The 4, Dirty Dreams, 4. The 5, Come On Over, the winner. The 6 was scratched. The 7, Executive Dash In, 6. The 8, He Can Fly In, 2. Top down, 5, 3, 7. 4, 1 scratch, 6, 2 on the bottom. The quarter, 31. The half, 101. 3/4, 130. The mile, 159 3/5. 10th race, our penultimate race on the card. Number 1, VH Willie Wonka, the driver Charles Myrick. And number 4, Sup, Matt Burkholder will drive.
All right, so Roger gave us a couple of our changes in race 10, but 159-3, Come On Over, gets it done in race 9, the free-for-all pace. Race 10 is up next. It is our third and final division of 3-year-old colt trotters. So join us back here momentarily.
Own a little and love it a lot. TheStable.ca is an award-winning fractional ownership operation. Buy as little as 1% of a racehorse and experience 100% of the thrill. TheStable.ca makes ownership easy, accessible, and affordable. Communication and customer service are at the heart of everything we do. Get started at TheStable.ca.
The future is bright in Ohio. Ohio Sire Stakes, Buckeye Stallion Series, 65 county and independent fairs. Whether it's the Ohio Sire Stakes, the Buckeye Stallion Series, or the County Fair, Ohio has a place for your racehorse. This year, Ohio breds are racing for over $20 million in stakes purses. Be part of the winning. Breed, buy, race, win in Ohio.
At Ohio State's Galbraith Equine Center, our veterinary champions are here for your champions 24/7, 365 days a year. Our expert team of boarded surgeons, sports medicine and rehabilitation specialists, together with veterinary cardiologists, internal medicine, and ophthalmologists, make our hospital your best resource for all sport horse performance issues. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center's Galbraith Equine Hospital. Call us today at 614-292-6661.
We are reaching the end, getting closer to the end of our early card here at Knox County in Mount Vernon, Ohio. We're headed into race 10 of 11. The boys.
Tick-tock, tick-tock.
It has been the boys all afternoon, and it will be the fillies this evening. So make sure you come back and join us post time of 6 p.m. to see if the fillies can show up the boys.
Yes. It's going to be tough. What great tight racing this was.
We really have, yep.
It's and they'll get exciting. Good crowd here. Beautiful grandstand, new grandstand. Nice in the shade. Just a good, nice afternoon. This is a 10th. We have 5 in it. Number 1 is VH Willy Wonka. Charles Merrick drives for trainer Tim Van Horn. The owner, they're from Malta. That's right down by McConnellsville, right across the river. And this 3-year-old gelding by Big Chocolate out of Joyful Road by Thunder Road. 6 starts, only 1/3. Has trotted the best time, and that was at Scioto in the qualifier, 2:04. Last week at Carrollton, trotted in 2:06 Room for improvement. He has not graced the winner's circle yet. VH Willy Wonka, number 1, and Charles Merrick. And number 2 is
Smooth Talkin'. So we have Drew Neal again teaming up with Rosie Weaver to get the job done. This is a colt that's been relatively consistent. 8 starts and has hit the board 6 of those 8. So 2 wins, 2 seconds, 2/3. $30,000 on the year, $68,000 lifetime. Has taken a mark this year at Scioto Downs in 1:57.3. Last start out was July 9th at Bell Fountain. So, and went wire to wire in 1:59.3.
number 4 is Sup. Matthew Burkholder is driving. He owns.
We missed number 3.
Huh?
We missed number 3.
Oh, I do that all the time. I was looking at that. Jurassic Justice. Owned and trained by Michael Lowe, for Jerry Welch and Michael Lowe, part owner. This is a 3-year-old gelding by Volstead out of Vamp Hall by Like a Prayer. 4 starts, 2 wins in the 3rd, $10,000 a card. Mark of 56-2 at Scioto. Last week at Wellston went 2-5-3. Last quarter 29-4. I tell you, 56-2 at 3 at Scioto. Jurassic Justice and Michael Lowe, number 4.
Now number 4 is Sup. So
Sup.
Matt Burkholder will drive and train this 3-year-old gelding by What the Hill. This is the 14th start of the year for this gelding. We have 3 wins and 2 seconds, $25,000 on the year. No prior starts as a 2-year-old, and this is a BSS starter. 2 starts back on July 4th. We were in, I believe it was the second or third leg of that BSS. Ended up 3rd in 1:56.2.
Smoking. And speaking of smoking, how about some Vapor Max? Vapor Max is a 3-year-old colt by What the Hill out of Vaporizes by Vaporize. Zach Morgan trains for Watica Racing, Zanesville, Ohio. Derek Watica in the sulky, 11 starts this year, no wins, but has 2 seconds, 2/3. Has been tied last week at Scioto, and non-winners of 1 parimutuel in 1:56.3. Good mile.
Right, you're right. No, exactly. Vapor Max has no lifetime wins yet, but could possibly get it done today, especially a second at Scioto in that 1:56 mile, like you said.
So Scioto is the major leagues, the big tracks. You got Scioto, you got Northfield, you have Miami Valley, and you have Dayton.
Dayton Raceway. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Sure thing. So if anybody is tuning in that is maybe not super familiar with Ohio or, our parimutuels in general here. So Northfield is our most northern track, of course, near that Cleveland area. And we are going to head to post, and then I will finish my thought.
Colt and gelding trot, $4,027 in memory of Tom Fowler. Number 1, VH Willy Wonka. The driver, Charlie Myrick. Number 2, Smooth Talkin' with Drew Neal. Number 3, Jurassic Justice, Judge Mike Lowe, the driver. The 4, Sup with Matt Burkholder. And number 5, Vapor Max, Derek Wadaker in the sulky. Horse to take one score and go to the gate.
Got us to say it?
Yes, yeah, all right. So Northfield near Cleveland, that is our all year round. We race all year round at Cleveland. But those other tracks that you mentioned, so Scioto Downs, Dayton Raceway, and Miami Valley, those are what we consider our southern circuit. And they go by season. So summer season is Scioto, May through, actually just before the jug. So May through kind of mid-September, we are at Scioto Downs in Columbus, and then we move to Dayton Raceway for our fall, and that is after the jug. So very end of September all the way through kind of the New Year's, and then Miami Valley near Lebanon, which maybe I'm sure many people listening remember Old Lebanon Raceway. Old Lebanon was replaced Miami Valley about, 10 years ago or so, and they race our winter season. So January through May, and it is just a big old cycle of logistics and moving down here in our southern tracks.
There's year-round racing in Ohio. Of course, busy time of the season is summertime, and it got the fair racing. As it gets 66 fairs have harness racing in Ohio.
And one just came back. I feel like that's really important to mention. So we had 65 for a handful of years, and Bell Fountain just decided to make a reappearance, and we were so happy, and the track was great this year.
Yeah, it was beautiful down there. That's Logan County Fair.
It is.
That's approximately 40 miles north of Columbus, 50 miles north of Columbus, 60 miles. 60
it is
miles.
Kind of towards the west, right?
Yeah,
Kinda
towards
the
west. And Bell Fountain, one of the thing is you go through these towns, and you'll see the little historic plaques that they have.
Yes.
Well, now, there's a liniment that had been around since the 1870s called Dr. Tuttle's. And it's a muscle liniment for horses, and the old-time horses always put a little couple of drops of Tuttle's in the bath water. And that guy, Dr. Tuttle's, is buried in Logan County.
Huh. Speaking, this is off topic, just some interesting stuff while we wait for our field to round up before the starter. Bell Fountain, so I grew up near Bell Fountain, Urbana area is where I'm from, and so Bell Fountain, if you go into their square, which if anybody went to the fair, you probably saw it, there is a big fountain in front of their city hall. There is a pineapple on top of the fountain. Why in the world is there a pineapple in Bell Fountain, Ohio? Years ago, when they first put the fountain in, the people who made the fountain accidentally sent the bus. There was a head that was going to go on top of the Bell Fountain. They sent that to Hawaii, and Hawaii was supposed to get the pineapple, ended up in Bell Fountain. They never switched it. So that is why in Bell Fountain there is a pineapple. And now the town has taken on, all the little stores have pineapples and stuff. They have taken on the pineapple culture. But that is the story.
I do know that the pineapple which I wondered about, that is a symbol for welcome.
Oh.
The Hawaiians.
Hawaiian culture?
Yeah,
very cool.
It's a welcome. So that's why so you see get these little fun facts all over Ohio.
See, you have your wealth of knowledge, and I have my very limited
I love that.
local
No, but those are, see,
knowledge.
didn't know there was a pine, and I lived
you
in
should go through sometime.
I lived in Bell Fountain. I know it is a home of the first concrete street in America.
Yes, that's still there.
It's also, they say it's the shortest street in America. They have one that's 18 feet long, and got 22 stores and a Walmart on that 20. But no. Every little town in Ohio, every town has something interesting about it.
It does. And Mount Vernon, just driving up here today, wow. I mean, just the scenery to come through to this place has been.
Home of Johnny Appleseed, as we mentioned earlier.
And Chris Page.
Dick Stilling.
Right. And here we are. The starting is going to go into position. Race 10, a field of 5, the third and final division for 3-year-old colt trotters, a purse of $4,027.
So approaching the starting gate. Trotters are all in behind the gate. The gate swings into the stretch, and here they come. They're off and trotting. Jurassic Justice goes right out for the lead. VH Willie Wonka on the inside second. Getting away third is Smooth Talkin'. Around the turn they go. Sup is fourth. Trailing the field on the outside, Vapor Max. Down the backside to the first quarter mark. It's Jurassic Justice with the lead. Smooth Talkin' up on the outside now to take the lead. Racing third, VH Willie Wonka. Fourth is Sup and trailing Vapor Max. Straight alignment past the forwarder in 30 1/5. Around the turn they go. Smooth Talkin' leads by a length. Right back out on the outside. Jurassic Justice to challenge second. Racing third on the outside, Sup. Into the lane first time, racing fourth. As he passes down to the first time, VH Willie Wonka trailing the field. Vapor Max. Going back to the pylons was Jurassic Justice. Still on top. Smooth Talkin' leads the way by a length and a half. The half, 1 minute, 2/5 as they race to the backside. Jurassic Justice is there second. Racing third, Sup. Fourth is VH Willie Wonka in the trailer. Vapor Max straighten out down the backside. Here comes Matt Burkholder and Sup now third, now second, closing on the outside. Going after the leader, Smooth Talkin', opens up by a length and 3/4. At the 3/4 in 1:32. Around the final turn, Smooth Talkin' with the lead. Jurassic Justice left in the dust, racing third on the outside. Into the stretch they come. It's all Smooth Talkin'. Drew Neal with the lead. Jurassic Justice second. Home third. Sup to the wire. Smooth Talkin'. Jurassic Justice. Sup. 2:01. 4/5.
With the last quarter, 29 2, last half in 1:01. It was Smooth Talkin'. I'd say it was more like smooth riding. That was a good mile, well in hand. Rosie Weaver trained for Heartland herself and Heartland Acres. Cabby D LLC. Drew Neal in the sulky. What a good mile. At the half, and they were 2:34, and down the half a minute, 2/5, and they just come home 2:34. But they're coming home in 1:01 flat. Good mile there, Ashley Daly.
Sure thing. That makes 2 in a row in Ohio for Smooth Talkin'.
Except for that, they got a good crowd coming back to the winner's circle. And that was, is that Rosie's third win of the day?
It might be. I say we've got them all written down, but I guess I was not keeping track of just trainers.
Oh, she couldn't. She only had 2 in it. No, excuse me. Yeah, she had 5 in it today. Drove in 2. They got the dog. They got 4 people on the back seat there.
And here we have our winner making their way in front of the grandstand.
Home Talent Colt Stakes 3-year-old Colton Gelding trot. Number 2, Smooth Talkin'. Owned by Rosie Weaver, Heartland Acres, and Gabby D. Rosie Weaver, the winning trainer. Drew Neal in the sulky. Drew Neal gets his second win of the afternoon. Rosie Weaver, the only trainer to double up today's afternoon card. Smooth Talkin' is a 3-year-old gelding, but what the hell at a time to talk. Home a winner in 2:01, 4/5 with a final quarter 29-4. This blanket in memory of Tom Fowler goes to Smooth Talkin', Rosie Weaver, and Drew Neal. The winner's circle.
That was the
You
fastest
better
time.
wave.
Rosie Weaver gets the trophy.
It
Gets the
was. I say because our very first race was that first division. They went in 202 and 3, and that was our dead heat. So Mount Vernon
Results
Fair.
are official.
There we go.
10th race. Number 1, VH Willy Wonka, 5. The 2, Smooth Tonkin, the winner. The 3, Jurassic Justice, 2. The 4, Sup, 3. The 5, Vapor Max, 4. Top down, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 on the bottom. The quarter, 30 and 1. The half, 1 minute, 2 fifths. 3/4, 132. The mile, 2:01, 4 fifths. In the
That,
Number 2,
Ashley Daly. We're getting close.
We are. We have one more race in this early card before we say the Colts are done.
And this is the third division of the 3-year-old Colts and Gellings pace. Only change in there, well, we have several changes, but we'll go over that when we're back from these fine messages.
Volstead, Coach K. Hanover, Slay, Ohio's top trotters stand at Dublin Valley Farms. Volstead's offspring include Sugar Instead, the 2023 Ohio 2-year-old Trotting Filly of the Year, and 2024 Ohio Sire Stakes winner Jurassic Hattie. Coach K. Hanover, the son of world record holder Walner, and Slay, the son of Chapter 7, standing his first season at Dublin Valley Farms. When you need supplies for your horse, one name stands out: Big D's. Since 1976, Big D's Tack and Vet Supply has been the equine experts you can trust. Whatever your horse needs is available at Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Visit the retail outlet in Streetsboro, Ohio, or order online at BigDWeb.com for fast shipping. Most orders ship that day. Or call 1-800-321-2142. Big D's Tack and Vet Supply.
Did you do it?
We did.
Yes, we're back. This is the 11th and final race at beautiful Mount Vernon, New York. Was named after George Washington's estate in Mount Vernon, New York. I got to throw this little bit at, we talk about Chris Page, Dick Stillings, Johnny Appleseed. Another unknown native of thing was a man by the name of Dan Emmett. I got to throw this in. He was born in 1815, and his grandfather came here. He was in the Union, the Revolutionary War. His father was in the War of 1812, and Dan was just in the Army. He got discharged in 1835, went over to Cincinnati and got into show business. He always said there's no business like show business. But in 1858, he went to New York, wrote a song, and became the #1 song in the nation. He was born, business, and he passed here in 1904. But his new #1 song from 1859 was Dixie. Oh my, what's it? Oh, way down south in Dixie. And that was adopted by the Southern Army during the Civil War. He says he would never written it if he knew it was going to be used for the song thing. Abraham Lincoln said that was his favorite song. It was beautiful. But that's right here in Little Mount Vernon, Ohio.
All right, lots of history absolutely everywhere.
Well, this is just looking up about trying to get directions here, and they have all these interesting tidbits. But we're here for the 11th. And Mr. Legend, we have Nick Clegg for Betty Joe and Nick. A combination is a 3-year-old gelding by a bit of a legend end out of the Mistress by Astrios. 1 win in 15 starts at Marion, 2-5-1. 2-5-3. Mr. Legend has been timed in 2-1-4 at Bucyrus last week, was 4th. But number 2.
Well, it looks like we are going to post parade, so we will finish our thoughts in just a moment. We will let Roger take over our mics.
These are the horses, the 11th race. Hometown of Colt Stake, 3-year-old Colton Gelding Pace for $4,054 in memory of James Spearman. Number 1, Mr. Legend, the driver, Nick Clegg. Number 2, Just Barley, Mark St. Louis Jr. Number 3, Hard for One Guy, Derek Wadaker. Number 4, Wash the Dragon, Logan Ebersole. And number 5, In His Time, Tim Johnson in the sulky.
All right, so finishing our thoughts. So Tom introduced our horse on the rail. Leaving from our second post position is Just Barley. Mark St. Louis Jr. will get that drive for trainer Isaiah Shrake. Coming off of a win at Bucyrus, went wire to wire and won 58-4. 12 starts this year, 3 wins, 2 seconds, 1 third, and has made $22,000. Took a mark at Northfield this year and won 56 flat.
And number 3 is Hard for One Guy. Derek Wadaker is in the sulky with trainer Jeff McBride, owned by David Noller, the son of Fear of the Dragon out of Grace's Parade by Royal Majesty, coming off a win at Carrollton, a good mile, an excellent mile in 2-1, last quarter 28-2. That he is first win this year in 6 starts. Does show a mile in 58 and a piece, but that mile 2-1 in Carrollton is a good mark. Hard for one guy. And it's number 3. Number 4 is
Wash the Dragon. Logan Eversole will both drive and train the 3-year-old gelding by Fear the Dragon. 13 starts this year, still looking for our first win, but 1 start back at Carrollton was second in 201 and 3. Has made $16,872,000 lifetime. Took a mark last year at Northfield at 58.
number 5 is In His Time. Another Betty Clegg owned and trained. Tim Johnson in the sulky. This gelding by Fear the Dragon out of We Adore Thee by Western Terror has 10 starts this year, 1 win, 1 second, 2 thirds. Mark at Cortland of 2-2-1. And that was 3 starts ago on the 9th of July. Since then, he's been second at Hilliard in 2-2-1. And last week at Bucyrus was 3rd. And he paced in 2-1-2. Got the 5-hole, but they'll be smoking. This is going to be a good division. This is a final race here this afternoon. We will be back, or I won't be back, but Ashley Daly will be back. I'll have to write her a letter, keep in touch. But Ashley Daly, we'll be back for the evening's card at 6 p.m.
Say this is our 3rd division, like we said, of these 3-year-olds. And our 2nd division equaled our track records. So
this will be tough to
we might not see it done, but who knows? You can't count until it's
over. You never
over.
can tell in a horse race. Some they might start battling out. They are moving behind the Mike Wepkenberg starting gate for the 11th time this afternoon. From the rail out, Mr. Legend, Just Barley, Hard for One Guy, Wash the Dragon, and In His Time. 2 co-favorites is Just Barley, Mark St. Louis, and In His Time, Tim Johnson. Here's Roger for the Collie 11th from Mount Vernon, New York, the Knox County Fair.
Pacers are all in behind the gate. The gate swings into the stretch, and here they come.
Wonder how fast he drove from Washington Court out.
They're off and pacing hard for one guy. Goes right out for the lead. Mr. Legend gets away second. Up on the outside as they race into the turn, Just Barley third. Getting away fourth, Wash the Dragon. Trailing the field In His Time. Straight alignment down the backside. Going to the first quarter mark. Hard for One Guy and Alex Hawk showing the way by 3 lengths. Racing second is Mr. Legend. Third, Just Barley by the opening quarter. Wash the Dragon is fourth and trailing the field in his time. Opening panel, 29 seconds. Around the turn, going to the 3/8 mark. Hard for one guy by a length and a quarter. Mr. Legend right there, second. Racing third, Just Barley. Into the lane first time, coming to the halfway point. Wash the Dragon and trailing the field in his time. Field of five over to the halfway point, led by Alex Hawk and Hard for One Guy. Halfway home in 59. Second panel in 30 seconds flat. On to the backside they go. Hard for One Guy opens up by 3.5. Mr. Legend is there second. Here comes Just Barley on the move on the outside. Wash the Dragon fourth, treading the field in his time. Down the backside they go. Hard for One Guy by 3.5. Just Barley on the outside second. Mr. Legend third. 3/4, 1:29 and 2. Midway around the final turn. Hard for One Guy by 3.5. Just Barley trying to close the gap second. 3 wide on the outside. Wash the Dragon. Into the stretch they come. Closing is in his time. Coming home. Hard for One Guy. Closing in on the leader. Just Barley to the wire. Hard for One Guy. Just Barley in his time. The mile, 1:59, 4/5.
Another sub 2-minute mile for our third and final division, our very last 11th race of our early card here in Mount Vernon.
And that was called Alex Hawk on Hard for One Guy. Was like putting the pedal to the metal. Going off, he went off at 3-5. The 2 who was second unofficially was 3-2. And the 5 was 9-1. They were on the board, finished as 1, 2, 3. The betting public. 3-2-5, mile 159 and 2-4, 3-4.
And here comes Alex making his way.
Daniel Hale will get the blanket. 3-year-old Colt Pace. Smile on the 3-year-old Colt Pace. Trophy will go to Daniel Hale. That blanket will be in the race office. Back in front of the stands, your unofficial winner, 11th race, Home Talent Colt Stake 3-year-old Colt and Gelding Pace, $4,054. Third division. Number 3, Hard for One Guy. David Nolan of Gallipolis, Ohio. Jeff Kirkbride, the winning trainer. Alex Hawk in the sulky. 3-year-old Gelding, but Fear the Dragon and the Gracie's Parade. Home a winner in 1:59 and 4. For Hard for One Guy, 2 in a row in Ohio. And there's another winner from Midland Acres, the home of Fear the Dragon.
Well, there we have it. So as we wait for that official rundown, but I have it unofficially looking. There we go.
11th race. Number 1, Mr. Legend, 5. The 2, Just Barley, 2. The 3, Hard for One Guy, the winner. The 4, Wash the Dragon, 4. The 5, In His Time, 3. Top down, 5, 2, 1, 4, 3 on the bottom. The quarter, 29. The half, 59. 3/4, 129 and 2. The mile, 159, 4/5.
Well,
Great afternoon racing there, Ashley Bailey.
and we've got barking dogs in the background because in between this early card and the late card, we were doing some wiener dog races. They're here in the grandstand. So with that, Tom, would you like to say our goodbyes for the early card?
Well, I want to thank everyone. I didn't have any access. We didn't have any access to Facebook that I could see. But I want to thank all our folks from all over the world tuning in to watch us. Make sure you come back here and watch our own Ashley Daly back in action, and we have the Phillies, the Philly with the Phillies tonight.
True, yes, yep. It is myself and Trish Soulsby, so it'll be
Yes.
the girls for the girls, I guess. And we have 10 on the card, and we'll get through them. Post time 6 o'clock. Please join us back here, and if you would love to, please go over to harnessracingohio.com for that program.
And we shall see you at the fairs somewhere, some beach somewhere. So thanks for joining us, everyone. Have a great day, afternoon, and come back here with the girls tonight, ladies' night here at Mount Vernon, beautiful Knox County.
This has been Ohio County Fair Racing. Ohio County Fair Racing has been presented by Midland Acres, thestable.ca, Dublin Valley Farms, Big D Tack and Vet Supply, and the Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center. Ohio County Fair Racing is a presentation of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association.